And perfecting it each and every time. This is the 13th game. As you take a look at our weather, 54 degrees. We had rain yesterday in London, not today. It's perfect football weather. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. With a look at Rex Ryan, and he has had some criticism from an unlikely source, Rich, this week, his players.
Yeah, I think he was surprised a little bit, Kevin. I think the team is frustrated. I think in particular the defense, and I can tell you this, Rex Ryan told us on Friday they're going to be aggressive. They're going to get back to playing their style of football, and I think it's attacking and getting after Blake Bortles early and often.
With a look at E.J. Manuel, the third-year quarterback out of Florida State. As a starter, 6-9. We've had the flip of the coin. The Jaguars won. They have deferred, so the Buffalo Bills will receive. And deep back is Boom Herron out of Ohio State. Ironically enough, the Ohio State marching band performed before the game. They will perform at halftime. And to kick it off for Jacksonville, Jason Myers. The Bills, the Jaguars from London, and away we go. Boom Herron into a pile and brought down by Demetrius McCray. It is a 27-yard return. This takes us to E.J. Manuel, second consecutive start.
Kevin, he has to come out and cut it loose. I thought last week he was cautious. I don't think he wants to make a mistake. Remember now, this is a quarterback that was a first-round pick 3 years ago. He's got benched. He had a foot out the door this summer when they brought in Matt Castle and Tyrod Taylor. I think he has to be aggressive and play with confidence early.
With a pistol formation here in a 1st and 10. Outside they go. Robert Woods. Falling on him outside was Roy Miller. It is a loss of 2 on the play. We've talked about that offensive line. So Urbit goes to the guard. Quanjo goes to the right tackle position. A lot of moving parts there. Henderson is out with a concussion. LaShawn McCoy, who says yesterday to us he's about 80% hamstring issues earlier on. Missed a couple games. In there right now. Coming off his best game of the season. 90 yards against Cincinnati. McCoy. And blockers ahead. With the tackle made by Chris Clemens, who gets the start on the defensive line. It is a 14-yard catch and run. He's up to the 36-yard line. And a first down. We just mentioned Clemens at one side. Tyson Alualu will be in the middle. And he gets the starting role today in place of Derek March, who started last week after coming back. Paul Postlesny leads his team in tackles. He's terrific. And Dwayne Gratz will get the start in the secondary for this team, taking the place of Devon House with his performance last week. He was demoted to nickel. It's 1st and 10, the elusive McCoy. Watch on that time by Clemens. And no gain on the play. They stay at the 36.
Well, Kid, when you think about all the injuries the Bills have, they're without Sammy Watkins and Percy Harvin. You mentioned the right side of the offensive line. They lose a lot of their speed on offense. And there's 2 guys in particular that really have to step up and have huge days. I think it's Charles Clay, the tight end, and also LaShawn McCoy, who we just saw. I mean, they have to rely on these guys throughout the course of this game, and in particular in the passing game. I think that's where McCoy can really help E.J. Manuel.
You saw a picture. Tyrod Taylor had that MCL sprint, reach 5. Next week, they say receiver 2. This is McCoy. Got a block up front from Urbit at the guard, and he worries his way for about 4. He's up to the 40-yard line.
Well, McCoy is so shifty. We talked about it a little bit in the open. He's so good with the ball in his hands. He always seems to make the first defender miss. Great vision and instincts. And in talking to some of the Jacksonville defensive players, they said they have to be aggressive with McCoy and force him back up inside where all the bigger bodies are. But you can't let him get outside, get on the edge of your defense.
He's got 3 touches already in this game.
He's going to be busy, and he's feeling better, Kevin, as you mentioned, from that hamstring injury that kept him out a couple weeks ago.
Hurry! Cut!
It's 3rd down and 6. This is McCoy. Trying to throw a block. Postlesny brings him down. Tumbles for the first down. Got by the 46 with a gain of 5 on the play. Maybe 6. Let's see the spot. They give him the first down.
Well, they see the pressure the one way. All they're going to do is just try and get McCoy out on the edge. Remember, we talked about the right side of this offensive line with Quanjo and Urban. They've got to help these guys out early. And how do you do that? By running the ball right at them. Let them go north and south. Let them get up on the second level and get some hats on those linebackers.
Hey, Mike 51! Ready? What?
Hogan with coverage on the play provided by Aaron Colvin in the Jaguars secondary.
You've got to help out the quarterback. And hasn't played a lot this year, and it's imperative that Hogan and Woods, I think, have big days. Kevin, we talked to Greg Roman on Friday, and he said both Hogan and Woods have been with them since day one, both extremely diligent, bright guys, and they're going to do the right thing. They have total faith in both of these players. They're not going to change the plan much in terms of the passing game. This won't be able to get down the field as easily.
Boone Herring has come in for this 27th ranked offense. Second down and 10. Inside looking for Gregg. The coverage by Colvin. It is incomplete on the chalk. 3rd and 10.
Kevin, when you really study E.J. Manuel, at times he's late with his eyes. And I think at times he doesn't play fast from under center. And I think that you watch him a little bit last week. He'll make some great throws, and he'll come back and miss some throws. Part of it is his mechanics, which we talked to him about on Friday. I think he's trying to become more compact. But when you're late with your eyes, we'll say if you're late, you're late. Sometimes he wants to make sure he sees it. And if you're late, you're going to be late with throws, especially the out-breaking routes outside the numbers.
Third down and 10. McCoy was back in. As he throws, you saw the result. The pressure was there. Clemens coming up the middle in his grill, and it will be 4th down.
Well, you're going to see a little bit more pressure up inside. That's a terrific hit on the quarterback by Chris Clemens. And that's, you always talk about, you want to make sure that you get some hits on the quarterback early.
Colton Schmidt will be punting. You can see his numbers there at the top. And beat back Brian Walters, and they blow that play dead. Flag.
False start. Offense number 26. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So Manuel ends that first series with 3 straight incompletions and pressure up the middle. That pressure, by the way, something that the Jacksonville defense hasn't been generating all that much of.
No, they struggle, Kevin. They don't have that dominant pass rusher, and that's a problem. The penalties are a problem as well for the Buffalo Bills. They have more penalties than any team in football through the first 6 games.
And Schmidt sends it away. Walters down the fly at the 23 with a fair catch. That's where Jacksonville will start things. A 36-yard punt. Here comes second-year quarterback Blake Bortles and the Jaguars.
Go to NFLshop.com.
Blake Bortles is number 5 in touchdown passes in the NFL, number 7, Rich, in passing yards.
Yeah, you can already see the improvement with this young offense from a season ago. The yards a game are up significantly, as well as the numbers with their young quarterback.
T.J. Alvin is back. He's missed the last game. For the first time in 10 from the 24. Grabbed inside by Corbin Bryant. He replaces Kyle Williams. It is a gain of 3, and he's up to the 27-yard line on that offensive line. Their best lineman, Brandon Linder, is out with a shoulder injury, so rookie A.J. Cann will make the start again at that right guard. We just mentioned Yeldon. He is back, leading rusher on this team, and the 4th leading rusher among rookies in the NFL. Second down and 7.
Yeah, 52 right.
Duke Williams with a terrific play on a pass intended for the tight end. Incomplete. Corbin Bryant, as we said, takes the place of Kyle Williams. Kyle's got the knee, but they miss him up front. High-priced defensive line. Preston Brown continues to impress. And Corey Graham is the number 1 tackler among NFL defensive backs. Here is a 3rd and 7. They need the 34. Jason, he gets the pass out. Flag is thrown. Hearns makes the grab right in front of Gilmore.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Luke Jokel, the left tackle.
You got a good look at Luke Joko right there in the left tackle position, and he's in good position. Just gets bull rush, and you can see him grab Jerry Hughes. This is a defensive line that led the National Football League a season ago in sacks.
So this offense of Jacksonville comes in number 15 in the NFL.
53.
Take on the number 18 defense in the league of Buffalo. It's 3rd and 17.
These are the situations you want to stay ahead of against the Rex Ryan coach defense.
Williams chasing. Boyles. Wobbly and incomplete as he was looking for Hearns at about the 42 with the coverage by Gilmore. And so that Buffalo defense forces Jacksonville to punt the first time.
You know, Rex is the guy that's going to heat up the young quarterback. You just know it. And he's going to give you some unusual, unorthodox looks that you haven't seen or prepared for. And I think the key for Blake Bortles, Kevin, throwing it away once in a while is not a bad thing against this defense and punting. What you don't want to do is make that ugly mistake, that late throw down the middle that results in a pick.
Ryan Angular punt for Jacksonville. Darius was a bad punt. Darius Morris back there, landing at the 46, hang time of 3-4. That won't get it done. And so a 40-yard punt, second possession coming up for the Buffalo Bills. LaShawn McCoy last week with his best effort at 90 yards on the ground.
Yeah, first game back with the hamstring injury and didn't disappoint. 17 carries, Kevin, 90 yards and a touchdown. And many of their big runs, when you really look at the next-gen stats, came off the right side. In fact, 14 of their 17 runs were to the right. And that's because they want to pull Richie Incognito, their left guard. And many of McCoy's runs get bounced to the edge where he can use his speed. Trust me, Jacksonville is aware of these numbers. They've talked all week about forcing McCoy back up inside. They have to set the edge against McCoy.
There's a first and 10. Once again, here's LaShawn McCoy, who got in a trade with Philadelphia. He's tackled in the secondary by Josh Evans on a gain of 6. By the way, the way we handle the next gen, the 2 tracking devices on every player, recording every movement by those players, 1 on each of the shoulder pads.
It's incredible technology, and I think it allows us to be able to really track what's going on with the players. But also, Ken, I think at some point, even for the teams, to be able to go back and look at some of this information, which I think is fascinating over the course of a season.
I will put one on you.
Self-scout. It's important to self-scout. I want to know where LaShawn McCoy is going. Believe me, Jacksonville is well aware of number 25, and he is getting closer. We talked to him on Friday. He had that hamstring injury. It's really bothered him going back to training camp. And he said that, he had some setbacks in practice where, he would open it up a little bit. Then, he'd feel it tug a little bit. So they've been monitoring his reps the last month. But look at the difference with and without him in the lineup. And I think that, you look at the yards a game, look at his impact in the passing game. But most importantly, how about points a game with him? 30 points a game without him. A meager 12 points.
That's significant. The difference is a timeout was taken by the Buffalo Bills. Well, McCoy is a 3-time Pro Bowler, a rushing champion with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2013. You're now just looking to get some health and get beyond, as he told us the other day, beyond the 80% health he's got right now.
I think he's one of the most difficult tackles in the open field. And he has that suddenness to him.
And the quarterback, Manning, will take it. Hogan with the block, and that is a first down run. Cyprian was in the area, a 10-yard burst, and that is one thing that Manuel and Tyrod Taylor, who he's replacing, can do, and that is run the ball.
Well, they can, and it's good to see this from E.J. Manuel, Kevin. We saw a little bit of it his rookie year, and then he got hurt a couple times, and I think he was a little bit tentative to pull it down and run. But he's in a tough spot. He knows that in 2 weeks when they finish up their bye, Tyrod Taylor is going to be healthy. I visited with him before the game. E.J. Manuel, he's got to cut it loose. Have some fun.
At the 12 makes the grab. Chris Gregg is out of Arkansas, picks up 29 yards to the 11-yard line of the Jacksonville D.
This is a really nice route. You love it because you're going to have a single high safety, but check out this route. He's going to go out and then he's going to work up the field. But what he does, he gets his width and depth at the same time, keeping himself away from the safety in the middle of the field. And E.J. Manuel does a nice job holding the safety with his eyes. Terrific throw and catch.
Wild cut, and it hit the crossing in-motion receiver. That was Woods. They had taken the quarterback Manuel and put him wide to the bottom of the screen. And then watch as Woods crosses.
What happens is you have a player in a position, and LaShawn McCoy, he's responsible for the cadence, Kevin. He doesn't do a lot of this, right? So he doesn't do a good enough job making sure that he gets, Woods across the formation first. I mean, that's just a terrible mistake in this part of the field.
And maybe trying to be a little too fancy here when things are working.
They're trying to create ways to have some explosive plays. Remember now, they're without some of their best receivers in the passing game.
The tight ends are second down and 12 after the loss of 2. He's out of bounds. He is out of bounds, caught it, and then he was well out of bounds, and he was open on the play.
Well, this is a mistake by the tight end, Chris Gregg. You always have to know where you're at on the field. I mean, this is just a mental error on the part of the tight end. He's just going to go out to the flat. E.J. Manuel's a little bit late getting to him, but look where he's at. I mean, you don't see that very often, do you?
Well, no, but I will say this. With the writing on the side of the field, it's got the color of the field itself, the green. I wonder if that was confusing, but nonetheless, it's 4th down and 12. Manuel. And he's got Brad again. This time he's out of the end zone and well beyond the barometer, and they've got Devon House back there as the nickel watching the Buffalo tight end. So it's 4th down. They're going to bring out the field goal unit.
Just takes too long to develop. I mean, it's the extra hitch, and we'll be talking about this a lot today with E.J. Manuel. He wants to stare it down a little bit. He wants to make sure he's seeing what he sees, and he takes an extra hitch or two, and that makes him late with the throw.
Dan Carpenter is going to try a 31-yard field goal. And there is a negligible breeze inside Wembley Stadium today. Hold coming from Colton Schmidt. And the Buffalo Bills are on top first. And the big play was a 29-yard pass to a wide-open tight end, Chris Gregg, from quarterback E.J. Manuel. In London, Kevin Harlan, Rich Cannon, Jamie Erdahl, our producer Ken Mack, and our director Mark Grant. 11th consecutive game, Jacksonville has allowed first quarter points. Longest active streak in the league. We just saw a 31-yard field goal by Carpenter. We have Gay kicking off for the Buffalo Bills, and they'll leave it in the end zone with Nick Marshall.
Well, Blake Bortles is an exciting young player. It's a throw that he feels he can't make. I think he's got better mobility than we give him credit for. This is a terrific throw on the move last week against the Houston Texans, but he has to eliminate some of the poor decisions, especially in this part of the field. This is right before the half. He can't fight zoning linebackers. I think you look at last week, Kevin, 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 interceptions. He's got to clean up that part of his game.
Entrega por tierra es Yeldon.
Takes it to the secondary, rams his way into Ronald Darby and takes it out to the 28 with a gain of 8 on first down.
Well, it's good to get Yeldon back very quick to the hole. He's got good vision to those cutback lanes, and I think speed to break off the long runs.
Alabama con 291
yardas.
yardas.
Is the 4th all-time leading rusher at Alabama. Just 21 years of age. Carries the ball a lot. They're going to put a lot on his shoulders.
He needs to be busy. The running game hasn't been good
Ahí
enough.
van con Yeldon una vez más, buscando el primer intento, cerca, pero creo que no.
Broke his way inside. Looked like Jerry Hughes, among others, got their hands on him, and a gain of about a yard.
That's why they went out and drafted him, Kevin, in the second round. Right now, they're currently 24th in rushing offense, averaging just 92 yards a game. Buffalo, it's one of their strengths. They're 4th in run defense. They make it very difficult on you. Gus Bradley's talked all week about having some success on the early down and staying out of those third longs against Rex Ryan, where he can dial up all those blitzes.
Yeldon missed most of preseason with a finger injury. Didn't play, as we mentioned before, against Houston last week with the groin. 3rd down and 1. Gerhardt
bajo la mira. Ha recibido el apoyo del dueño. Se queda con el balón.
And a timeout.
Pero hay silbato
taken by
antes.
Jacksonville.
Charge timeout.
De la jugada Jacksonville pidió
So each
tiempo a
offense has
pesar de
taken
que
a
consiguieron el
timeout to
primer
begin
intento.
things, and 6:08 to
Tiempo
play
pedido con 6,
here in the first.
8 por
We had a
jugar
long
en el
talk with
primer
Gus
cuarto.
Bradley, and I know you've thought long and hard about what he's been able or not been able to accomplish, especially as he has begun each season in Jacksonville.
I think the slow starts, Kevin, are disturbing. The combined record of the Gus Bradley for the first 6 games. The last 3 seasons is 1-17. 0-6 his first year, 0-6 his second year, and 1-5 this year. That's something that they need to fix. I mean, and I think the other thing that's you know, they need to see significant improvement for year 3, I think, in order for him to stick around. I mean, he's combined 8 and 30 overall. And he's passionate. He's a head coach that believes strongly in what they're doing. I think he feels that they're making progress. It just isn't showing up right now on the scoreboard.
Well, the owner, Shad Khan, has come out with his public endorsement. It's a patient process, uncomfortable, patient.
La entrega por tierra, el empuje y ahora sí.
He bulldozes his way for the first
Este es el
down.
hombre que consigue
And
las
he picks
duras
up
yardas.
4.
Se trata de Toby
Hitting the
Gerhardt.
secondary, brought down 2 by Manny Lawson, the linebacker, put him at the 33.
I like how they put Tyson Alualu in the fullback position. I mean, he's just going to lead up in front. You got the bigger back and Toby Gerhardt.
Aquí está, pega fuerte, no tiene la agilidad y el quiebre que tiene Yeldon, pero sí tiene la fuerza en tercer intento.
The more you can do, go out there and stop the run, and we'll put you in there in offense and you go block somebody.
First and 10.
Mira la marcha de los Jaguares, el pase completo, excelente recepción y falta también.
And it
para
was
Robinson, pero
Gilmore,
también vamos a
right
ver
in
si
front of the
falta
Buffalo
para quién.
bench on a gain of 20, and the flag should go against the Bills.
Pass interference. Defense number 24.
Stefan Gilmore está marcando.
They like throwing these jump balls to Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he's their deep threat. He's averaging almost 18 yards a catch, and he's going up against a really good corner in Stefan Gilmore. He's going to have his hands full. They got 2 good young receivers in Allen Robinson and Allen Hearns. The quarterback isn't afraid to give him a chance down the field.
Ahora la 47 de
yards per reception this year, picked up
no
20.
tiene donde Yeldon.
No place to run, no place to hide. And spun around Preston Brown, had a hand on him along with Williams inside with a loss of a yard.
Yeah, it's good to see Mario Williams. We had a great visit with him, Kevin, on Friday, and then did speak with the coaching staff after last week's comments and the loss of Cincinnati. I just think that they were so good last year, and this year they haven't had the numbers. The sacks are down, the pressures, the explosive plays, the turnovers. I just think that they've lost 2 of the last 3, and this is a group that's
pinta por tierra el pase. Desviado. Viene ese balón.
Williams is getting on him. Boy, they are sending pressure from every point you can imagine in front. Incomplete pass. Williams already coming through hard.
And I'm not surprised to see Jacksonville move the pocket some. Get Blake Bortles out on the edge.
Ahí, no.
But look at this. They triple team him. He's not going to hold it very long.
O sí. Tercero y 11.
You can see who's on the field with the next-gen stats. 3rd down and 11. They need the 37.
En la cancha. A lanzar. Pase rápido, completo finalmente. En tercer intento, la recepción de Julius Thomas.
Takes it down to the 21.
Julius Thomas con 78 yardas la semana pasada contra Houston y su primer touchdown
by the tight end who they got
con
from
los Jaguares.
Oh, but a flag has been thrown.
Y hay falta, vamos a ver, aquí lo agarra, no, segunda
We always say
no
it's
sé
important
dónde
for the
estaba
tight end to see the ball come out of the quarterback's hands. That's a great reaction by Julius Thomas.
Holding was the call on Jacksonville.
Anula la jugada agarrando
That's
de
the second
parte
holding penalty they've had right
el
now.
novato
So it pushes them back to the
AJ
42.
Khan.
They've really got to eliminate the mistakes, Kevin. The missed assignments, the
Buffalo,
penalties, the penalties, the turnovers. They're not good enough right now to be able to overcome all the mistakes, especially early in games.
Días se están midiendo. Y es los Jaguares con una falta importante ahí, que anula una buena jugada ofensiva.
Always alert for screen or draw in this situation. Obviously, no back in the backfield. Look for something.
A lanzar, Moros, la finta, el pase peligroso. Trataron de engañar y otro pañuelo amarillo. Trataron de engañar con la finta al lado izquierdo, el pase rápido, una cortina al interior con Yeldon.
Another one at the 50.
Muchos hombres en la cancha. No. 2 faltas.
They're both against the
There are
Jaguars.
2 fouls on the offense. Pass interference, number 89. That penalty's declined. Ineligible man downfield on the offense. Number 60. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Faltas ambas rechazadas.
Let's call it double whammy when you have 2 on one play. That's what the coaches say when you come to the sidelines. Don't stick your head in the bushes.
Balones se había adelantado. Los linieros no pueden adelantarse para bloquear, avanzar hasta que se el pase. Ahora el despeje de
Angle
parte
punt for a second time, and this one
de
has
los
lost.
Jaguares.
And Denarius Moore played his college ball at Tennessee, is under it with a fair catch about the 20. Good hang time and a 38-yarder.
3-0 el marcador. Buffalo.
Loved it.
De fútbol soccer y ahora fútbol americano.
Great city, it's a clean city, and
Buffalo
everybody's
con
been
el
so
balón.
hospitable to us. They
Tercera
love
marcha del
American
partido
football.
con
They
3:51
do. They
por
also
jugar el
love
primer cuarto.
rugby. The Rugby World Cup is going on here, semifinals. Yesterday it was South Africa and New Zealand. Today Argentina and Australia. First and 10. And with a skip and a quick tackle made by Dan Scooter, it is LaShawn McCoy for 5 to the 25, and Jamie's downstairs.
Kevin, something to keep an eye on for you guys in the Jaguars secondary. Josh Evans, who was a starting free safety, getting a lot of work done on his neck and shoulder area. They initially enlisted him as questionable to return with a stinger, but we see he is back on the field.
Good for him and good for Jacksonville. 6th round pick out of Florida 3 years ago. Here's a 2nd down and 5 for Manning.
En el lado defensivo, 2nd y 5. Voy atrás, la pinta, a tirar. Tiempo, pero bajo presión, liquidamente. Manuel ahí hace, a pesar de que es una jugada negativa, también lo más inteligente y se trague el balón al Wadu con la captura.
Well, you go back and look at the stretch play. I mean, it's play action. They're trying to get the ball down the field to the tight end. Not a lot of places to go.
Primera captura.
I'm going to watch Clay, and he's a guy that do a really nice job moving him around. One of these crossing routes, you see Telvin Smith, he's right there. Coverage sack for Jacksonville.
Five in the secondary, 3rd and 14. They need the 30.
Tercera y 14. A lanzar, pase desviado en la línea. Otra excelente jugada, buena jugada defensiva y este es de
He made his season debut last week at ACL, remember, late last year. 3 and out, Buffalo is going to punt.
Ahí lo vemos al lado del izquierdo, cuando ve que no tiene la penetración, salta
It all starts with their
para
defense
desviar
lines
ese
where they
balón.
spent the money. Derek
Estaba
Marks,
siendo
Chris Clemens,
bloqueado por
Alualu, Jared Odrick.
Cyrus Quintillo, el hombre de Camerún.
The punter is Colton Schmidt, and deep back is Nick Marshall. Nick Marshall, a year ago at this time, was playing quarterback at Auburn. And he slips, the ball's out of bounds with a terrific hang time.
Dentro de la 30.
They were down there, 56-yarder by Schmidt. Blake Bortles will get another shot at it. They've had twice. They punted both times. 2:13 first quarter from one.
Critical drive. They'd be nice once in a while to play with a lead. They haven't done a whole lot of that this season.
And Pauly is on the defensive line for Buffalo. It is a first down.
La finta al corredor, el pase completo. Excelente pase, ahora sí. Para Hearns. Aguantó en el bolsillo Bortles porque sabía que iba a recibir el golpazo. Y Hearns,
22-yard gain.
el mejor receptor del partido del equipo con 4 touchdowns, 460 yardas en la temporada. Vemos aquí, van a cruzar, él se movió al lado derecho y después regresó al lado izquierdo aquí. El hombre que tiene que venir desde el otro lado para marcarlo no llega. A lanzar una vez más, el pase completo. Esta vez es para Allen Robinson, así que Hearns y Robinson, las dos promesas, los receptores para los Jaguares. Aquí Robinson con un quiebre simple hacia la banda y la tacleada por fin de parte de Corey Graham.
You take these 2 young receivers, youngest teammates to register 400-plus receiving yards through the first 5 games.
Primera vez en el partido.
On one team since 1960.
Blake Bortles, y por el juego aéreo, Yeldon no ha funcionado. Ahora entregan para Yeldon, que busque espacio, se escapa y finalmente hace algo positivo por el esfuerzo individual, porque le habían cerrado el paso.
They'll put him down to the 23.
Well, we talked about getting better production in the running game. That should help get T.J. Yeldon back, throwing it 65% of the time, and I know Greg Olsen doesn't want to do that with a young quarterback, but it's tough. Both these teams, Kevin, have dealt with injuries on offense. It's tough when you don't have your starting running back.
Derek Carr ahí Oakland el año pasado y ahora tiene a Blake
Second down 5.
Segundo y 5. Yeldon una vez más, ahora sí con espacio. Primer intento y mucho más para TJ. Estamos llegando al final del primer cuarto. Los Jaguares amenazando ahora por aire y por tierra. Ven el bloqueo. El ataque derecho va a jalar hasta el otro lado y bloquear el apoyador que viene ahí para marcar de ese lado y abrir de esa manera el espacio bloqueando a Nigel. 3-0 el marcador, pero los Jaguares amenazando.
Have more of those kind of completions than him this year.
That's pretty good company,
yes,
Kevin. You know, he really throws the deep ball well, and he has a couple young receivers in Robinson and Hearns that will go get it.
So after their defense forced a Buffalo 3 and out, completions of 22 to Hearns, 23 to Robinson, a 12-yard run by Yeldon. 1st and 10, starting the second quarter. Quarterback will take it himself. He was clubbed as he worked past the 10-yard line by Duke Williams out of Nevada with a gain of a yard to the 10.
He can and he will run with the football. I think he's able to make some plays with his feet. You don't think of that because he's such a big quarterback. I think he's got some better mobility than you think at the quarterback position.
It would surprise some people. There's Shad Khan there right in the middle of your screen. He was honored before the game today. He is as important a member of this expansion into the UK, into London, as any NFL owner is. He has volunteered his team. He is leading the charge. 2nd down and 9. As Jacobs in front, one of his tight ends who offered a block, and then he throws it away wisely. Incomplete. 3rd and 9.
Well, again, they're going to move the quarterback, and they're trying to get the tight ends to the corner of the end zone. Great coverage here by the Bills. They're not going for it, and Bortles does the next best thing. He just throws it away and moves on. You mentioned Shad Khan. He's looking for a sweep this weekend. You know, his other football team won yesterday in dramatic fashion. Fulham beat Reading 4-2. They were down 2-0 at the half. 4 unanswered goals in the second half. You know, I'm a big soccer fan.
Did you just say nil? You got a daughter. You got a daughter who plays some soccer. The great schools out east. Bucknell, 3rd down 9. Quick throw down to the 1. Did he get across? They call it a touchdown. They call it a touchdown and a laser throw. Bortles to Robinson. The lunge, the reach, and a 10-yard strike. And Jacksonville has taken the lead.
They're just going to run the little quick slant. This is a really nice throw by Blake Bortles. No one in the middle of the field. They're going to pressure him, and he gets it up and down quick. And that's the beauty, Kevin, of having these bigger receivers that can work in the middle of the field. You look at the size of Allen Robinson. He's 6'3". He's 220 pounds. That's tough on a corner like Stephon Gilmore.
Working on Gilmore. Here's the extra point. Myers puts it through. 7-3 Jacksonville. A 73-yard drive. Long completions. 22 to Hearns. Through the air, 23 to Robinson. The Yeldon run of 12. Then the lunging touchdown by wide receiver Allen Robinson, who is a very physical receiver, as Rich was just talking about, with 6'3" height, big catching radius. Oh, Rich, for a guy that long.
Kevin, I love bigger receivers as a quarterback, especially on those inside breaking routes where they can use their body to shield off the corners.
Robinson with his 6th touchdown reception of the season. That's top 3 in the NFL.
The thing you do know about Gus Bradley's team, Kevin, is they're not going to go down easily. This is a team that's been in a lot of close games. They've had 4 one-possession games this year that they've been unable to win. They have to learn to finish in games.
The first half they've been terrific, you're right, Rich, but boy, it's that second half of games which have really done them in.
How about last week? I mean, they entered the 4th quarter at home with a 14-10 lead. over Houston, only to have a disastrous 4-minute stretch. They give up 2 quick touchdowns on defense. Bortles threw a pick 6, and they wind up losing 31-20.
Well, late in the game, they led Indy by 3. They led Tampa Bay by 4. And as you just said, they led Houston by 4. And this is up front with Booby Dixon taking it up from the 5 and up the sideline to about the 22-yard line, where he's met by a host of defensive players, including Jordan Tripp. It is an 18-yard return.
What a great name, Booby Dixon. He could be a rugby player.
He would. He'd fit right in.
Booby Dixon.
With the World Cup of Rugby here. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, Dan Hellie, Terrell Davis, Heath Evans, our first half analysis, and Rich Eisen, Michael Irvin, Marshall Falk, and Steve Mariucci will preview the other NFL games of Week 7. All coming up next after the 18-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10.
Ready? Right.
McCoy, quick play, rocketing through Roy Miller III. Been very reliable, leads the defensive line in tackles for the Jaguars.
Look at the penetration. Roy Miller's right over the nose. I mean, he just shoots that A-gap between the center and the guard. He goes right around the center, Eric Wood. And LaShawn McCoy has nowhere to go.
Ready?
2nd and 13, they blow that dead. We got an offensive penalty here.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's time for someone to do some push-ups. I mean, it's amazing.
Is that what they'd make you do, huh?
Well, that's what Rex said. That was his deal. He wanted to do some up-downs. Look at these penalties, Kevin. It's amazing. They've played the Bills through their first 6 games. They already have 62. It's for over 580 yards. And what's interesting is you look at their wins. They're averaging a little over 7. And the losses, 15 and a half.
Hey, no, go 55.
After their 2nd false start penalty, 2nd and 18 low, but scooped in right there. Evans jumping on top of the receiver, Robert Woods. He now has 37 consecutive games with the reception. He picks up 9.
You know, not a lot of yards after catch with some of these receivers the last week and a half, Kevin, because the accuracy for E.J. Manuel is a little bit of a problem. It's either low or high, and it's really difficult for these receivers to get into the transition of the run.
Bills!
6 defensive backs for Jacksonville, 3rd down and 9.
Hey, let's go, Ron!
Here they come, the blitz was on, the ball is free, and it's picked up on the play by Brown, and you can see him tumbling in, and it was grabbed eventually by Clemens, who takes it in for the Jacksonville touchdown. First defensive touchdown of the season for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, you got to know in this situation that the pressure is coming. And E.J. Manuel is going to get hit right in the face. You see Colvin coming off the edge. He's going to get the shot on the quarterback. He's not even expecting it. The ball comes out. And Sergio Brown is right there. He tries to get it. Ball's bouncing around. Chris Clemens gets the touchdown, but E.J. Manuel's got to do a better job seeing the blitz in this situation.
Now the extra point as the Bills were rocked here early. 14-3. Jacksonville with 12:21 to go. They've scored. The Jaguars have 2 touchdowns in a minute 44. They've done it on offense. Then the defense comes to play. Their first defensive touchdown of the season. He has been racking up some sacks with Jacksonville. He did not participate in the offseason workouts, which was a little bit disconcerting to the staff. But boy, has he shown up in a big way here in London today with a fumble recovery, his 2nd career touchdown in his 153rd career game. 6-yard return.
Well, if you're E.J. Manuel, Kevin, you have to quickly turn the page and move on from the mistake. You can't do anything about it now. And the great ones are able to do that regardless of the situation. If it's a touchdown pass, if it's an interception, if it's a sack fumble, to quickly move on. This is an important drive for E.J. Manuel and the Bills. A good look there at Tyrod Taylor. I spoke with him before the game. He says he's going to be ready to go. He practiced a little bit this week, but didn't feel like he was 100% able to go today against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, the touchback to the 20-yard line after the 6-yard fumble recovery return for the team. Picked off! It's grabbed by Smith. It is a pick six!
Well, just keep an eye on Telvin Smith. I mean, that's what he's gonna drop. He's reading the eyes of E.J. Manuel the whole way. They play a lot of zone coverage. You see him, he just buzzes out there, and E.J. never feels Telvin Smith. Man, back-to-back mistakes by E.J. Manuel has it behind 21-3.
Myers good again, 21-3. They told Manuel this week, let it rip. Play loose. You think sometimes he plays too close to the vest.
Yeah, and part of the problem you have now is a good look at it. He never feels the linebacker, Kevin. He's trying to throw the hook route, the inside hook route to Robert Woods. You know, I think if you're Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, I think you're trying to help him. You're trying to protect him. But look, you know, you're without so many players. I mean, they're so banged up right now on offense. You don't have Watkins. You don't have Harvin, Goodwin, the right side of your offensive line. It really forces you to change the offensive game plan, especially now that you have a quarterback that is struggling a little bit with his confidence and decision-making.
First-round pick. And to think of his story, Rich, he comes in as a first-round pick of another coach. Now they've had change. He didn't win the quarterback competition this summer either.
No, and I think that, you know, Ken, I think he's afraid to make a mistake, and right now he's got to be just beside himself. And he didn't want to come out here and obviously, you know, play poorly, but I think right now if you're Greg Roman, it's time to crank up the running game with LaShawn McCoy. Defensively, Buffalo's got to do something special to get back in this game.
Boom Herron was ripped down by Thurston Armbrister on a 22-yard return. Jacksonville's defense has scored 2 touchdowns in 7 seconds, and Telvin Smith leading the way, one of the top tacklers in the NFL. He came on last year and has been a star in the linebacking core for the Jaguars.
He is really explosive. It's amazing. You look at Telvin Smith and how quickly he can move, Kevin. He ran a 4.47 at the combine out of Florida State. And he's got size to go along with it. He's 6'3", he's 223 pounds, and he covers a lot of space in a short period of time.
Let's see the reaction. Here comes Manuel. Got a block from his tight end and takes it with the quarterback run out to the 27 and picks up 12 on the play.
And just look at Telvin Smith's numbers. Look at his 59 tackles, second in the NFL. Look at that max speed, 21.5. That's flying for a linebacker, third fastest among linebackers. Look at the distance he's run, over 7,200 yards. That tells you he plays sideline to sideline for Jacksonville defensively.
We know that with the next gen because it's the first time this year the NFL tracking every move by every player in every stadium, even here at Wembley. It's 1st and 10 after the 12-yard gain. Not a lot of running room right there. There's Smith making the tackle. Grabs McCoy. He is the second leading tackler. Telvin Smith is a loss of a yard right there. Smith, the second leading tackler in the NFL since he began last year, week 12. Right back at DeQuell Jackson in terms of tackles in the league.
And Kevin, we spoke about some of the young up-and-coming stars that Jacksonville has offensively. I think when you look at defensively, I think Jonathan Cyprian's going to be a good player, but Telvin Smith, I've been really impressed as I've watched the film of this team over the last couple of weeks. He makes a lot of tackles for the Jags.
Second down, 12, LaShawn McCoy. Telvin Smith drills him. He got him back at about the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Smith is everywhere this afternoon.
Well, he's just got a nose for the football. I mean, look at this. just runs around the blockers, and well, Sean McCoy has nowhere to go. It's unusual, Kevin, to see a linebacker that has that speed.
McCoy, the last 3 runs he has had have all lost yardage.
Look at these numbers, 3rd and 16. I mean, this is, again, screen or draw to help the quarterback is struggling right now.
Aaron in the backfield. They need the 37. Manuel. It's picked off by Puslesny. Another turnover. He gets up. He fumbles the ball, which then goes out of bounds. It is Jacksonville's ball. Puslesny comes up with his 2nd interception of the season.
Kevin, look how deep the linebackers are. And Paz is the one that's actually going to make the play. But on 3rd and 16, you can't fight zoning linebackers. Look how deep Puslesny is. What's he doing? He's reading the eyes of the quarterback the entire way. Kevin, I'd make a change at quarterback. The problem is they just brought in Josh Johnson this week. They only have 2 quarterbacks dressed for the game.
Rich, this is Josh Johnson's 4th different team this year. Cincinnati, the Jets, the Colts, and now the Bills. So the Jaguars with 3 takeaways in less than 2.5 minutes. They had 3 altogether coming into this afternoon.
You look at Josh Johnson, he's got the plays on his left wrist. I mean, he's still learning the playbook. I mean,
and that's never come from him.
Jeez, oh man, what an ugly start for E.J. Manuel.
Bortles 1st and 10, Yeldon into a thicket, not much there, down to the 32, and picks up 4. It's amazing, Rich, how some of these things can just turn a game, a pick, a fumble recovery, and that's at least what it's done so far for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was really expecting Manuel to play better this week, Kevin. You know, he's very conscientious. We talked to the coaching staff on Friday. He walked through every 3rd down play on Thursday night after meetings with an assistant coach in one of the ballrooms at the hotel. And it's not like he doesn't understand it. He's making some poor decisions in critical situations.
It's a 2nd and 6. Mario Williams with pressure. It's off to Lewis. He's grabbed from behind by both Bradham and Hughes and takes him down to the 28 with a gain of 5. A catch and run. Mercedes Lewis.
Well, he is a big tight end, Kevin. 6'6". He's 275 pounds. To find a way to get him the ball a little bit more in space. When we think of Julius Thomas so much, you're going to see Lewis. He's in there initially blocking, and then he just slips out. Tries to get in behind those big offensive linemen down the field.
That's kind of what he's known for, isn't he? He's walking.
He is an inline player. He can move you at the point of attack in the running game.
3rd down 1, Yeldon. Blocked by Julius Thomas. There was a block inside, thrown by Beatles, and it's a touchdown run by Yeldon. 28 yards. Zane Beatles on the offensive line. Open the way, and they cash in on the interception thrown by Manuel. Yeldon with his first rushing touchdown in his career.
Yeah, initially he gets caught up in the wash, and then he switches lanes, and then once he gets up on the 2nd level, he's such a tough tackle. Really terrific run by T.J. Yeldon.
They're going to review this to see, as they review every scoring play, where was his knee and when did the ball cross. 8:25, 2nd quarter. Jaguars have shifted gears. They're taking a look to see if rookie running back T.J. Yeldon.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
He did. 28-yard touchdown run. Jacksonville's first touchdown in 173 rushes. Mike Carey is back in New York and watching. Mike, good morning to you, and what did you think of the call?
Good morning, Kevin. Yeah, I like the call. Now, if you piece this together, you watch Yeldon's knee hits on his right knee inside the 1-yard line. We don't get a shot down the goal line, but you can see that inside the 1-yard line, he's stretched out. When you're sitting in your living room or in your bedroom on the left coast, You can see he's longer than 2 yards long. The chance of that not being a score is remote. That's why they went with stands.
Terrific, Mike. Thank you for joining us. You'll be with us all game long. Jason Myers just missed his extra point for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has now missed 3 this year. He's missed 3 extra points this season for the Jags.
Well, Kevin, if you're Buffalo, I mean, you got to be shell-shocked. You're down 24. And what can you do? I mean, I think if you're Rex Ryan, you look at the scoreboard, there's 8:25 left to go here in the half. I mean, you have to have that conversation with the quarterback and say, hey, look, let's put behind us what's happened. Let's go out there and make some plays. We can't get it all back in one drive. Let's think about just making some first downs. Let's gain some confidence. Let's find a way to develop some rhythm in the passing game.
Rich, you played for so many years. You've been in positions like this.
No, I have never been in a position like this. Stop saying it. I've never thrown interceptions
Let's
like
just hypothetically say
okay,
you
if I had.
If you had been, what is it like? Here's Boone Herron who's going to take it out from about 6 yards deep. And then he is drilled with a big hit by Jacobs, a reserve tight end who's a good blocker. And as you can see there, pretty good tackle on special teams. But how do you keep yourself in the game when you're down by this much this early?
Well, Kevin, I think you really feel bad for your teammates. I mean, you start coming off the field and people start looking at you funny. Defensive players start looking at you. Coaches start looking at you. And then what they start doing is they start avoiding you. You start sitting on the sidelines. No one wants to sit near you. But, again, you got to put your arm around E.J. Manuel. He's all you have today, and he has to find a way to go out there and try and get this team back in this game.
It's McCoy. Wow, that's how you do it right there. Brought down on the play by Jonathan Cyprien. He's out to the 27. And it is a gain of 12. Here is the missed extra point by Myers. His 3rd missed extra point. Now, remember, they had a competition between him and Josh Scobie. They eventually traded Scobie to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh let Scobie go. So some extra point issues for Myers and Scobie, and nonetheless, you can see the score with the run here by Manuel, and a nice tackle made by Chris Clemens, who returned that fumble recovery 6 yards for a touchdown earlier. There's a pickup of 3. He's out to the 30.
And the other thing that hurts Buffalo, Kevin, is you're still trying to monitor the workload for LaShawn McCoy, and you don't have Carlos Williams available. And they really want to use a platoon of backs. And this is an offensive coordinator that's committed to running the football, especially when you consider the current quarterback situation.
Ready?
2nd down and 7. With Bragg, the tight end, grabbing it. And then Cyprien grabbing him. Make that Charles Clay. Clay is the one to grab it across the middle. Clay with the pickup about 8 yards, and it is a first down.
And they have to find a way to get him the ball a little bit more, Kevin. Since week 3, he's had 24 catches. He's been on a roll. Gives them some speed at the tight end position.
First catch for Clay. And go outside here for Hogan. Big, strong receiver who they like. And again, the top 2 receivers are out with injury. Harvin is out with a hip and some personal declarations. And, of course, we got Sammy Watkins who's out as well with an injury.
And they're trying to pick up the pace here a little bit, Kevin. You can see they're getting the plays in quicker. They're trying to do a pseudo no huddle here. Sometimes that can help a quarterback find his rhythm.
Herron in, 2nd down 3. Boom Herron. Ceiling block outside. There's a gain of about 5. He's out to midfield. And he's got a first down.
Well, Greg Roman, talked to him on Friday as well, Kevin. He felt really good about their preparation. He didn't want them getting bored or getting too comfortable. So what did he do? He threw the whole playbook at them this week. And he really felt like this team would come out and play well. I don't think anyone anticipated this kind of start.
Manuel 1st and 10. One hop to the wide receiver, Robert Woods, incomplete. This is an offense, Rich, that has used a league-high 30 different players on offense this season.
No, you don't see this too often in the NFL, Kevin. I mean, just missing it, one hop and a ball to a receiver, wide open Robert Woods. I think part of it is his footwork. I think at times he gets rushed and he hurries throws, and he either misses low or high. I mean, accuracy issues have been a real problem for E.J. Manuel.
With a second down and 10. Run down to the 47-yard line. LaShawn McCoy, and around his ankles he found Cyprian with the gain of 3. We talked to Manuel, and he said he thought he was over-analyzing things. Well, he's got a lot to analyze right now after this start.
Yeah, sometimes you can, I think you can think too much and try and be perfect. And I think part of it is his preparation's been very good. But let's be honest, they don't want him thrown it 40 times a game. When you can look at their wide receiver situation, the fact that they're missing the right guard and right tackle. They have to have some balance and some success on the early downs running the football.
With a 3rd and 7, the lower game to Woods. Caught it right in front of Devon House. Has the first down. Well placed, 39-yard line. Pickup of 8, and they'll move the chains.
He's making the easy throws look difficult. And this is good protection, and watch the receiver have to go down low and get it.
Hey, go 55. Ready? 55.
First down and 10. Get her on Quanjo. Woods on the side, shoved out of bounds by Aaron Colvin. It's a first down reception. They're down to the 27, a pickup of 11.
And this is an offense that I think E.J. Manuel can be very productive in. Remember, he was excited when they hired Greg Roman because Greg Roman had all that success with Colin Kaepernick early in his career. And I think E.J. is a similar type player, Kevin. He's got some pretty good mobility. He's got a lively arm. But he has struggled a little bit functioning like Kaepernick from the pocket.
Hey, Mike, 53.
First down and 10. And McCoy brought down immediately by Dan Scuda, played last year with San Francisco, started 11 games. It is a gain of about 2, down to the 25. Manuel's telling us he worked out with Steve DeBerg in the offseason.
Yeah, he did. I think that's a good thing. I think more of these players, Kevin, as we go around and visit the different teams, they're taking the time to go grab someone in the offseason. They're not allowed to work with the coaches, so DeBerg's a guy that I think really helped him. He actually moved in with him. He spent the better part of the offseason down there in Tampa living with Steve DeBerg.
Second down, 8. That's right on the screws, and it's caught by Chris Hogan. He's brought down by Josh Evans. That's a pickup of 9, so he's marched downfield. Clay with a catch of 8, Hogan 7, Hogan with 9, Woods for 11.
And DeBerg, as you mentioned, Kevin, he really worked on E.J. Manuel's throwing motion and his mechanics. A little bit of a less of a windup and trying to be more compact. The other thing is, as you study him, he held the ball with the nose out as opposed to down.
Right.
Kind of an unnatural and unusual position.
Girl, 55.
Manuel 1st and 10. And going for the end zone, and Woods, touchdown! Working on Grotz, who got the start today for the demoted Devon House. What a throw, a 16-yard, beautifully placed touchdown pass by E.J. Manuel.
What a terrific throw in the back of the end zone. I think he gets that right foot in. He beats Gratz there. But nice job by E.J. looking off the safety and then throwing a little go route and putting a little arrow in it for Robert Woods. Well, they needed that in the worst way. It's a good drive and a good series for Buffalo.
Rich, you called it as they were going, as they're taking a look at the scoring play once again, but the no huddle, speeding up the offense, quick hitters, and it got him in rhythm.
Yeah, just getting his confidence back, Kevin. He was actually 6 of 7 for 60 yards on that drive. Just keep an eye on the right foot, whether or not it touches the paint. Boy, it's really close.
I think I see green, though, between the foot and the chalk. As they now will review. Doing a 16-yard touchdown pass, Manuel to Woods. 2:46 in the second. The Jacksonville Jaguars, couple on defense. And a touchdown run at 28 by Yeldon. They got their own 16-yard touchdown pass right there. Changed the rhythm of their offense, as you talked about. And now the extra point coming from Dan Carpenter. That makes it 27-10. Creeping up a little bit more in this game. Mike Carey is in New York, and Mike, you've watched the replay.
Yes, I have. And if you look at the second replay, Rich, you had it right. Just as his right foot comes down, you see the Nike stripe. It's easy to confuse that with the chalk. That's why this was left stand on the field.
Yeah, it's actually the Nike swoosh, Mike. Come on, not a stripe, it's a swoosh. As a guy that represented the brand for 20 years, please, it's a Nike swoosh. But you're right. As we looked at it, Mike, that's what I saw. I think we were seeing part of the white, but I actually thought it was. That's a great look at it there. I thought it was Robert Woods' right shoe and his swoosh.
Think of all the free advertising they just got. Mike, thank you as always.
I don't think Mike ever wore Nike as an official. That's part of the problem.
They got to get a deal. Jordan Gay was brought back this week as their long kicker, their kickoff man, and he's got the ball at the 35. Manuel trying to get his wits about him still. Nick Marshall is deep back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and here we go after the 16-yard touchdown pass. Manuel to Woods, and Marshall will bring it out. Undrafted and upended. And he's out near the 15-yard line. What a second quarter for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, after getting shut out in the first quarter, big throw here to Robinson for the first touchdown. Big sack fumble. Clemens is able to pick it up, scoop it up, and he goes in for the score. How about Telvin Smith and his speed and playmaking ability at the linebacker position? Then he finished it off with a really nice run on third down from T.J. Yeldon. 27 unanswered points there in the second quarter.
In 5 minutes and 40 seconds of time. Bortles first and 10. Looking out the wing and going for Thomas on the sideline. The coverage across the way by Graham. Incomplete, second down and 10. When they brought Julius Thomas in, I'm sure when they signed him from Denver, they thought he would become the focal point of their passing game.
Yeah, when you think about it, over the last 3 seasons, only one tight end has caught more touchdown passes than Julius Thomas. That's Jimmy Graham. 7 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown last week against Houston. They need him to be a big cog in this offense.
Yeldon running into the nickel. Not a lot right there. Preston Brown brings him down. It's a gain of 2. One of the nice things about these Buffalo linebackers, every down linebackers, Brown and Nigel Bradham.
Yeah, they play hard too, Kevin, and they have fun playing. And you look at this defense, and I mentioned at the beginning, it's a group that's underperformed, and that's the bottom line. They haven't been able to build on what they did a season ago. You look at where they're at in total defense, they're 18th. They were a top 5 unit last year, 21st in passing, 16th in scoring.
This will take us to the 2-minute warning. A lot of scoring defensively for Jacksonville. Bills just got on the board. 2-minute warning on Yahoo from London.
That's what they need, Kevin. I mean, they need to play complementary football, and they've done that through the first half.
152, 152, green 80. Green is up.
Third down 8, Jokel the block, but from the other side coming in, Mario Williams. He just devours the quarterback, Blake Bortles. Loss of 5, back to the 12, punting unit is on the field.
Well, good look at Mario Williams. He's just going to beat Parnell around the edge. He slides right back underneath. Blake Bortles actually steps up into that sack. This is what they need. This is a good pass rush, has good push up the middle and speed off the edge, and that's what Buffalo has. When you have a healthy Kyle Williams and Darius inside, and then you've got Mario Williams and Jerry Hughes off the edges.
Mario Williams gets his 3rd sack of the season, had 14 last year. The front from Anger, and deep back Denarius Moore. Ooh, that was almost blocked. They got great pressure that time with Darden. 4. Top star Tennessee got a block. Finds the room. And then drilled on the play by Toby Gerhart. 17-yard return by number 17 Moore on afternoon with some Jacksonville players. Wembley Stadium, the new Wembley. The old Wembley was on this site. Tore that down in about 2003. Open this in time for the Olympics. but there's not a full-time occupant here. They just take international things like this, a big soccer game or it's a concert or American football. One timeout for Buffalo. 1st and 10 from midfield. Manuel, that was tipped, I think, at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete, and they were looking perhaps for Clay across the middle, 2nd down.
Well, a great opportunity for E.J. Manuel. You got a good look at Dan Carpenter. The 1st down here, Kevin, they're in field goal range. 1:35, they've got a timeout left. It's a great opportunity to make this a two-score game at the half.
Manuel's got 10 completions today. Half of them have gone to his receiver, Robert Woods.
Hey, move!
2nd and 10. And there's Hogan. He found the gap. He was brought down in the secondary by Gratz. He picks up 14. He's got a 1st down. Hogan effective today. 3 catches, 30 yards. 1 timeout Buffalo. 2 timeouts Jacksonville. 1st and 10.
Ready? Run!
Incognito leading the way for McCoy. And he gets to the 31-yard line and brought down by Buzz Lesney after a gain of 5.
You can hear Jacksonville call out run early. The big indicator is Richie Incognito. He's the one they want to pull the left guard. They feel a lot more comfortable. That's why a big percentage of their runs go to the right.
And they've got 2 new right of the center starters at guard and tackle.
It's going to be on Jacksonville.
Ross Henderson.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 51. 5-yard penalty.
We should mention John Miller, who is their rookie starting right guard out of Louisville. He had a family member pass away Thursday, flew back on Friday, and he was there with family in Miami, his hometown. Obviously, our thoughts go to John and his family. 1st down and 10. Going deep again and looking for Hogan with the coverage in the secondary by Dwayne Gratz. Incomplete.
I was just going to say they have time to take a couple shots now, and they go right back after Gratz, the corner who gave up the touchdown to Robert Woods earlier. You got to test him.
And he was getting the starting job today because of what happened to Devon House, who was the starter at that position last week against DeAndre Hopkins of Houston.
He got worked over last week. It's never a good thing when the guy you're covering is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
2nd down, 10, Clay. And he's brought down by Josh Evans. The gain of 6 on the play, put him at the 20. 1 timeout remaining for Buffalo.
Got a hustle here now.
But I like this no huddle. This rhythm has really helped the quarterback.
It's taken a long time to get the communication out.
Manuel looking for Hogan. Coverage by House.
Speaking of House,
he was right on it. Big free agent signee from the Green Bay Packers. 12 seconds to play in the half.
Well, really nice coverage here. Devon House does a nice job seeing the ball and getting that left hand in there, knocking it away from Chris Hogan.
Actually, perfect coverage. Shocker's hand in there. So, 38-yard field goal coming up for Carpenter, who has already kicked one this afternoon from 31. And that is drilled. And 3 more on the board. And they've gone from a 27-3 deficit to now a deficit, the Bills, of 27-13.
Kevin, that's huge. I mean, no sense of panic on the Bills sidelines. And again, 2 scores now made this a 2-score game. And the quarterback looks a little bit different, doesn't he?
He does. Well, you talked about getting rhythm, and don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the point is that they had to get something to kind of charge him back into it, because he had been really in a very low trough with the fumble.
Let's just be honest, he was in a bad place.
Yes, he was.
He was in a bad place.
I'm trying to be delicate.
But you know what? This is great to see. You love it when a young quarterback fights through some adversity. And, you know, you can't have a panic button. We talk about it all the time, Kevin, at the quarterback position. Because when you begin to panic, then everyone around you begins to panic. The play caller begins to panic.
And you don't want your coach to panic, and I don't think Rex Ryan is in that mind.
No, he's been in too many firestorms.
Jordan Gay will kick this off. Nick Marshall. Oh, he has to come now. Yep. Hold on. What are they?
Well, he didn't have to initially. Did he?
That was the question. Had he gotten his foot on the chalk? And he looked like he was
in a pretty
okay.
good position. I think he just loses.
Denard Robinson.
Well, he went down.
Yeah.
The official was a little late with the whistle. See Gus Bradley over there making sure.
Make sure the communication is right.
You don't need a mistake with 8 seconds left to go in the half. You're going to come out and kneel on the ball anyway. Why even bring it out?
Rich, the problem with the Jaguars this year has not been the first half of games. It's been holding on and making that big play in the second half of games to hold on to the lead.
They haven't learned to finish late. That's the problem.
We'll see if they can.
You know, they've lost the 4 one-possession games already this season.
So a couple field goals by the Bills. Also a touchdown pass of 16 yards to Woods. And scores for Jack.
Got home and have forced E.J. Manuel into making some really bad decisions. They got to continue to pressure on third down.
Jordan Gay will be kicking off to Nick Marshall for the Jaguars. Shy of 90,000 at Wembley today. And this kickoff will be taken 8 yards deep with some communication there with Denard Robinson to keep it in the end zone to the 20 on a touchback and downstairs to Jamie Erdahl.
Kevin, I just spoke with Rex Ryan coming out of the half. He wouldn't admit to seeing anything in particular with quarterback E.J. Manuel's decision-making in the first half, but he does have the confidence in him moving forward. Defensively against the Jaguars, he complimented Blake Bortles on his patience thus far, but plan on seeing the Bills getting after him. But his last words to me, we're coming back.
Jamie, thank you. This has been a Buffalo team that has alternated wins and losses. Losing last week at home to Houston. Jacksonville last week. Was working with the Texans and lost to Houston 31-20 in our first play in the second half with a tackle by Bryant. Yeldon is taking it for a gain of 5 to the 25-yard line for the Jaguars, and through 30 minutes of football, here are some of the numbers.
Well, not a lot of plays we talked about for Jacksonville, but look at the points off of turnovers. The 3 costly turnovers from Buffalo, and it's a big reason why Jacksonville jumped off to the early lead.
Yeah, Mike 22. Green 80. Green is hit.
Second down and 5. The tight end taken for the block. He gets by Duke Williams. He's chased by Preston Brown and then forced out of Browns by the defensive back across the way, Corey Graham. 16-yard run by Yeldon, the rookie, and a first down to the 41.
And Kevin, that could have been a gain of 1 or 2, and yet Yeldon, or even a loss of 1 or 2, and yet Yeldon's able to kick out of a couple missed tackles, or would-be tacklers. I like how this kid finishes runs. And he's shown some real versatility. A lot of young running backs struggle in the passing game. He has been very good so far for Jacksonville in the passing game, especially on third down.
With the 1st and 10 pass and outside, and the twirling Julius Thomas gets it right in front of the defense of Duke Williams with a gain of 4 to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen any players slip. You know, we were down the field before the game. I thought it was a little wet. Guys were wearing their seven studded cleats, the screw-ins, most of them. But doesn't seem like anyone's really had a problem with the surface. Some of the players were saying that the grass was a little bit longer than you're used to.
Thomas after his first catch, 2nd down 6. Yeldon blocked by Jacobs. First down run into the secondary. where he was brought down by the linebacker Brown. It's a gain of 9 to the 46. Jamie.
Well, you guys mentioned earlier how they like when Richie Incognito pulls on that offensive line. He has been mindful on the sideline, both at the beginning of the game and the beginning of the half, to warm up, make sure he comes off the line explosively, because there is some slipping that's going on with some of these players. So watch that on the line in particular.
Rich, you said that when you played, you used to look what the home team had in terms of what kind of size cleats, and that probably guided you.
Yeah, but the problem is, who's the home team? I mean, it's not like Jacksonville plays here every week. I'd come out in pregame warm-ups on the road and I'd watch and see what the players, the home team players, were wearing in terms of their shoes, and their cleats.
Charge timeout.
Bortles takes a timeout.
30-second timeout.
We'll go visit with offensive coordinator Greg Olson. Look at Gus Bradley. He was the defensive coordinator for Seattle. Now in his 3rd year.
I like what we've seen so far from Blake Bortles, Kevin. You know, he's the only quarterback in the league so far this season that's thrown for at least 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in back-to-back games. And, you know, he suffered through some growing pains last season as a rookie. He started 13 games, but I think he's shown that he has the ability to lead this team. And the biggest thing with him, he just needs to take better care of the football. That's the turnovers have been a concern.
Is he reading the whole field? Is he reading a half of the field? What do you see when you watch?
I think he's getting better. I think you talk to some Buffalo coaches, they don't feel like there's a lot of full field reads, but I think that's part of the evolution for a young quarterback.
Brings it down, gets it out. Lewis hit by Corey Graham with a catch and run down to the 37-yard line, a gain of about 9 or 10.
The one thing I like is his mobility in the pocket. He's got some suddenness to him for a bigger guy. Saw him last week against Houston, run all around and make a couple defenders miss. And can make big throws outside the pocket as well.
Gain of 9, 2nd down 1. Gerhardt will gas that defense and find some room down to the 33-yard line and a gain of 3.
This offensive line for Jacksonville, Kevin, they've done a nice job. Joko, Beatles, Wisniewski, Can, Parnell. What's interesting is their coach is the former Buffalo Bills head coach, Doug Marrone. Did a nice job with this group up front. You know, last year he took over an offensive line that gave up 71 sacks. Playing a lot better this year in front of Blake Bortles.
1st down 10. And down the sideline, hitting the helmet of Darby. Nice defensive coverage as they're going downfield for Hearns. 2nd down 10.
I really like these two corners, Stephon Gilmore, and of course the rookie Darby. These guys do a very good job playing the ball in the air. And they also do a nice job, Kevin, taking on some bigger receivers, some taller, longer receivers.
Darby's getting accolades too. Recognized around the league. 2nd down and 10. Yeldon cuts. And then brought down by Nickel Roby, who checks in. That's a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
It's amazing. Yeldon's almost has 100 yards, Kevin. 99 yards on 13 carries.
He had a touchdown run earlier in the game too. And they're popping downstairs.
Sometimes it's not necessary to see a good hit. You can just hear it.
Yeah, right. You've felt a lot of those. Bortles, 3rd and 4. And on the cross, they've got the receiver, Allen Robinson, hit by Corey Graham. Slides out of bounds at the 20. Picks up 7. Another Jacksonville 1st down.
We're just going to run a little drive route. Robinson's going to come underneath. That's what you want. You want to get him matched up against those linebackers in space.
First down 10. And not much there, trying to squirm his way through. With the tackle made by Marcel Darius on a gain of about 3. So on this drive, we got Yeldon with the run of 16, run of 9, Robinson a catch of 7, and Marcedes Lewis with a catch of 9.
The thing that's been impressive about Bortles so far, Kevin. He's done a nice job handling the blitz, and when we visited with him yesterday, he said, you know, look, I'm not naive. I know Rex Ryan's going to continue to blitz me until I show him and the rest of that staff that I can handle it, that I have answers, I have tools in my toolbox.
On the 11th play of the drive, second down, and a tackle made by defensive back Corey Graham. He seems to have his hand on every player that is got the ball, either catching or running. It's a gain of 1 for Yeldon.
Well, it's been a really nice drive. They started their own 20-yard line, 11 plays, 64 yards. Now they got to be able to finish it down in the red zone. Had their struggles down here. And talked to Greg Olsen, talked about being a disciplined team in the red zone. No sacks, no penalties, and certainly no turnovers.
Into the nickel. 3rd down 6. Moves up. Yeldon. And he got the first down. Terrific catch and a good read by Yeldon, seeing his quarterback in trouble. A pickup of 9. It's 1st and goal, Jacksonville.
This is a really nice job. I'm going to draw real quickly. Check out Yeldon. He's right here. He's initially going to block. They don't come. He gets out, and then it's not there. He still makes himself available. This is a really good alert play by the young running back. He gets out. He got an opportunity to get it. Now it's not there. Look at him just keep himself available right there and be quiet on the boundary. That's a terrific play by T.J. Yeldon.
Yeldon has got 1 touchdown run today. Forced out of bounds by Ronald Darby with a gain on the play of a couple. Maybe 1 to the 6, they'll put it. Bortles has thrown a touchdown pass today, 10 yards to Robinson. 2 defensive touchdowns. Clemens fumble return. Telvin Smith, a pick 6. And Yeldon the touchdown run. Yeldon goes wide this time, Rich, to top the screen.
Rex! 380!
I love these bunch sets down here as well.
2nd down, goal for Thomas. Flags, Graham defending. It's going to be on the tight end.
I don't think so.
It'll be on the tight end, I think.
Pass interference. Defense number 20.
You're right.
Foul
I thought maybe there was a shove.
2-yard line. Automatic first down.
It's on Graham.
He used to be covering Thomas to the corner. He just grabs and won't let go. I wouldn't let go either.
No, I wouldn't.
The guy catches a lot of touchdowns. 25 the last 3 seasons. Jimmy Graham has more with 28. This is really where this guy comes to life, down in the scoring zone.
6-2. We got 5-3.
Well, look, they've taken out every defensive back except a couple, except 2. First and goal. Gerhardt continues to dig. Pradham meets him and pushes him back. Nigel Pradham. There you see one of the 2 defensive backs in there, Bakari Rambo, who finally got that ball away, but after the whistle had blown.
A good penetration there. Initially gets it done. Talking about gang tackling.
8-minute drive.
23.
Gerhardt and Alu is the fullback. He is a defensive lineman. Jacobs in motion. Gerhardt is stuffed.
Well, that wasn't a very good run.
Stephen Charles among a couple on that defensive line.
He's just going to run right to the back of his offensive lineman. I mean, if he can just veer to the right a little bit, I thought there might have been an opportunity there. At some point down in this part of the field, Kevin, you got to knock somebody back. Hey, if I'm 1-5, this is 4-down territory for me if I'm Jacksonville.
This will be the 7th snap inside the 20. Gerhardt. Oh, what a great play. Wrapping him up. And on that line, there was Carrington.
Again, penetration. Look at the right side of the defensive line, the left side of the Jaguars offensive line. He got pushed back.
Alex Carrington, an original third-round draft choice by the Bills, makes the play now.
This sends a message to your football team at 1-5. We're not going to play conservative.
Defensive lineman there offers a block. That's where Gerhardt goes. Rambo is there, Bakari Rambo and others. With terrific defense, they stopped Gerhardt 4 times from the 1.
And Kevin, you got to ask yourself, you've got T.J. Yeldon. He's got 105 yards rushing. Why is he not in there running the football in this situation?
9.5-minute drive.
Well, back here in London, you got to ask yourself, why is T.J. Yeldon not in there? I understand that Toby Gerhardt's kind of their short yardage and goal line specialist, but he doesn't really have that change of direction or that lateral mobility that you like and need down in the goal line.
Great goal line stand by Buffalo. On the 1, for the 1st and 10, that's Gregg. Chris Gregg with his 2nd reception today in a pickup of 6. They put him at the 7.
That was a huge goal line stand by Buffalo, Kevin, as you mentioned. Jacksonville goes 17 plays, 79 yards. They chew up over 9.5 minutes, and they come away with nothing.
Hey, quick, box.
What? Jacksonville on their base.
Ready?
Fake on 2nd and 4. Manuel being chased by Scuda. Got the first down. Good run right there out to the 12. A gain of 5 and a first down for Buffalo.
We'll do a nice job just coming out off the play action fake. Does a nice job selling it. Scuda's in position now. He's got the angle. I think he underestimates his speed. Maybe he overestimated his own speed.
Maybe.
That's even worse.
We've all done that. First and 10.
Hey, go, 55. Ready?
Manuel is picked up outside by Clay. He's upended outside by Aaron Colvin in the secondary. Gain of 12 and a first down as they wrapping up some ankles here.
You know, a lot of short and intermediate throws. We're trying to get the ball out of the hands of E.J. Manuel quickly. But what you're not seeing, Kevin, is them, puncture the ball down the field. And that's not surprised when you don't have Sammy Watkins and Percy Harvin out there that can really stretch a defense vertically.
McCoy 1st and 10. They pull incognito, and there he goes with LaShawn McCoy to the 35. Brought down by Scuda, picks up, looks like 9 on the play.
You just forget how good of a runner this guy is. Since 2010, no player has rushed for more yards than LaShawn McCoy. When you think about Marshawn Lynch, Arian Foster, Adrian Peterson, Matt Forte, over 6,300 yards. That's some pretty good company.
Indeed it is. Manuel Hogan. Crotch had fallen. First down throw. Slants down to the 46. He picks up 12. Jamie downstairs.
Kevin, quickly, Zane Beadles on the sideline for the Jags right now. He's getting his right foot looked at. It's a foot sprain from the team. He is questionable to return.
Well, they've already lost Linder on that offensive line for Jacksonville. 4 first downs. Last 4 plays. Everybody's had a hand in it. Nice spinning move by Heron. Corkscrews his way for a gain of 4, and he's up to midfield. So Gregg gets 1 for 6.
They must be having problems with the communication system. Kevin, the last couple of plays, we've seen E.J. Manuel have to run over the sideline to get the play from Greg Roman. It's not what he needs right now.
2nd down 6. Block from Glenn. Woods will corkscrew to the 40. Hit by Gratz, and they're working on him. It's a gain of 10. McCoy ran 1 for 10. Clay caught 1 for 12. Hogan caught 1 for 12. Manuel ran 1 and a first down for 5. The rhythm again picking up.
Yeah, he looks like a different player now. You see there the frustration from Greg Roman. He's having to literally call the plays into E.J. Manuel after every plays. He runs over to the sidelines.
4 plays of 10-plus yards on this drive for the Bills, which started at their 1. To McCoy, looking for Hogan. Flag is down. Manuel running out of bounds. About the 38-yard line. Gain of 3 yards on the play.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 90. 5 yards penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Andre Branch.
Just get a look at Andre Branch right there. He's going to take Cordy Glenn and he's going to push that face mask all the way back.
Hey, boy, 55! Ready?
Down in 10, they get it outside. Hogan. Colvin is there. Down to the 28 of Jacksonville on a gain of 5.
And Kevin, E.J. Manuel's anticipation and delivery so much better. I mean, he looks like he's really found his rhythm. Looks like the offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, has found a package of plays that he feels comfortable with in the offense.
Rich, when one side loses their communication, and the other side have to stop as well?
Yeah, usually that's what happens. And I don't know if it's just E.J.'s helmet or the whole side, the whole system that's gone down between the booth and the sidelines.
McCoy, 2nd and 5, blocked by Incognito. McCoy is in the open, and he's down to there's a flag, a late one. Penalty will go on Josh Evans. The gain to the 12. A pickup of 16 by the elusive McCoy. He had a run earlier on this drive of 10.
Tripping. Defense number 26. After this is to the goal. Automatic first down.
Man, look how quick he is to get up on the second level. I mean, you can really feel the extra gear right here when he takes off. And tripping, I do the same thing. How else are you going to tackle the guy? You got to do everything you can to get him on the ground.
That's exactly right. Felton, the fullback, is in here. 1st and goal. McCoy. Felton the block, Incognito the block. Flag is thrown to the pylon. And out of bounds, shy of it. Flag at the 9 and the 7. 2 of them.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Illegal shift on the offense. 2-man moving part of the snap did not reset. An illegal formation. Offense number 71 was on the end of the line. That penalty is declined. It is a 5-yard penalty for the illegal shift. First down.
You get tired just running over back and forth to the sidelines, getting the play.
That's tough, and he's got him on a wristband. By the way, the first guy to use a wristband in pro football was Tom Matte when he had to sub as a quarterback for the old Baltimore Colts back in the 50s.
Didn't have as many plays in that wristband, I can promise you.
Did not. 1st and goal. Manuel. Boom Heron back down to the 8. And Puzlesny was down there. Calvin Smith with a gain of 3. That takes us to the end of the 3rd. Jaguars on top, but the Bills are marching on Yahoo. Our producer Ken Mack and our director Mark Grant in London, Wembley Stadium. Close to 90,000 here. 2nd and goal. You see who's on the field for the Bills. Manuel, intercepted and dropped by Smith. He just about had his 2nd today in his clutches and couldn't hold on. Incomplete. 3rd and goal.
Well, you can't fight zoning linebackers, and you're going to see Smith right here. He almost gets another one. And in talking to Paul Puzlesny on Friday, he said that E.J. Manuel, he has half-field reads. He's not going to try and move you with his eyes. Where he looks is where he's going with the ball. We've seen that most of the day out of E.J. Manuel.
3rd and goal. Looking for Craig. Covered by Cyprian. And Craig was having trouble lining up as they were getting that play arranged.
Well, you got to give him a chance to make a play. You're going to see him, he's just going to work to the corner of the end zone. He's looking back inside, and the ball's actually going to go over his right shoulder, out of bounds. You got to give him a chance to make a play on the ball.
Okay, you were wondering if they're going to go for it. If they got in this territory, try for three, they're going to go for the field goal.
Well, I said if it possibly, Kevin, could be 4-down territory. I would have prefaced it by saying if they got themselves in a situation where it was 4th and goal at the 1. In a manageable situation, possibly, but not in this situation.
Oh, we've had, in this half alone, one long drive each team. This is a 26-yard field goal, which is up and through for Carpenter. 26 yards. He's kicked one from 31. He's kicked another one from 31. Early 4th. Well, down 27-3. Rex Ryan has worked his team now to within a 27-16 reach of the Jaguars as Jordan Gay brought back this week as their kickoff man is ready. Nick Marshall awaits in the end zone. He's told to keep it there from Robinson. 14:50 in the 4th. Blake Bortles comes back out there. Well, playing with the lead, the Jaguars have not been all that successful with that this season.
Yeah, they've got to learn to cap off one of these long drives.
After the kickoff and after the Buffalo field goal, Bortles 1st and 10. Dropped. Allen Hurns with a convoy of defenders right there, including Ronald Darby. 2nd down 10.
Hey, look at the second half possessions here. Just 31 plays between the two teams and just 3 points to show for it. That's all we got out of the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville will be kicking themselves for not finishing off that drive that they had.
17 plays, 9.5 minutes. Left it at the 1. 2nd down and 10. It's out of the reach of Thomas. He was defended on the play by Duke Williams. Ball went back to him. Now, is that a receiver issue or is that a quarterback issue?
Well, I think you're late with your eyes, Kevin, as you're the quarterback. Watch Blake Bortles. He's going to start out, and he's actually working to his left initially. Look at his eyes. He's going to be working to his left. And then he's late to come back with his eyes, and now he just completely misses his tight end, throwing the ball behind him. Can't be late with your eyes, especially as you work from one side of the field to the other.
Last 6 plays, no yards at all for this offense. 3rd down and 10.
Well, they get that running back right up in there. They're expecting some type of internal pressure. They've showed it, and they've also bailed in this situation.
Here they come. Brown can't get him. Chased by Darius. Dropped across the way. Incomplete. Looking for Hurns. And Nigel Bradham was over there chasing and hustling for the Bills. 3 and out. They got a punt.
Well, they show you these looks, and then they bring it, and then you get a clean rusher. And Blake Bortles, I mean, no one winds up blocking. The linebackers come screaming right up the middle of the field, and Preston Brown. I mean, Blake Bortles had no chance in that situation.
You see the awaiting Denarius Moore.
It's a couple times now they've run a player on the field late in a special team situation.
You're right. Anger to punt. Got some air under this one. Here comes Moore from the 31. Hang time of 4-6. Got by the first wave. Gets a block. Cuts inside. There goes a flag. And there goes Denarius Moore, who is brought down on the play by the punter. Anger got him. A return of 30 on a punt of 49. And the flag is down.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 58. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Randall Johnson picks it up. Terrific talk the other day with Rex Ryan. We began this game talking about how his defensive players, Rich, had vocally, publicly criticized his defensive scheme. And Rex, you know, we've got to take a long, hard look at what we ask our guys to do. So he even conceded maybe it wasn't the right time at certain times to do what they did last week.
Well, they did something they normally don't do last week against Andy Dalton and the Bengals. They had some three-man rushes, and you got guys like Mario Williams dropping in space, and that's not what they're comfortable doing. That's not what, I should say, it's not what they're paid to do. These are guys that want to rush the passer and create havoc, and I think we're seeing a lot more of that today from Rex and his defense. A lot more four-man rushes and even some 5- and 6-man pressures against Blake Bortles.
Base defense, first down and 10. Manuel wants some depth here, and he's got it. Robert Woods, 15-yard pickup down to the 45-yard line. Devon House was there, and a first down for Buffalo.
We were talking earlier in the game, Kevin, about the lack of anticipation. This is terrific. This ball actually comes out of E.J. Manuel's hands long before Robert Woods even comes out of his break. He's really thrown the ball a whole lot better since maybe the middle of that second quarter.
We keep telling you about the right side of that offensive line. New Urbeck is in for John Miller, who's got a family situation. Quanjo is in for Henderson.
Hasn't held up well.
First and 10. McCoy brought down by Roy Miller. The two top receivers are gone. Kyle Williams is gone.
That's tough on, Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator. I mean, I know he's frustrated because they just haven't been able to develop any continuity with the offense because of all the injuries. You're without your starting quarterback. You've got the running back that's been out. Now you got your backup running back that's out, Carlos Williams. We talked about both receivers that are out. Now you lose the right side of your offensive line. You try calling plays.
Not to mention your starting quarterback's gone too. This is McCoy. Tripped up by Telvin Smith as he crosses the 40 and down to the 36 and picks up 6, bringing up 3rd and 1 for the Bills.
Well, Sean McCoy is a tremendous competitor. He just loves playing football, loves being in these situations. And I think in critical situations, Kevin, it's important to think of players and not plays. I'm thinking about getting the ball to LaShawn McCoy. The other guy I have to get involved a little bit more is Charles Clay. He has just 3 catches for 26 yards. He's been very quiet.
McCoy, 17 carries, 69 yards, 3rd down 1. And there go flags.
That's bad.
False start, offense number 60. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Urbeck, who has appeared in every game this season. First start was a couple weeks ago, second start today.
They just can't do it. The mistakes are magnified when you've got so many players out. In a very manageable situation, now you get a false start penalty and you find yourself in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 6. Manuel looking for Hogan with the coverage on Gratz.
Oh, they got away with one there.
Yellow on the field. 4th. Oh, there is yellow. Now they called it right here.
Roughing the passer.
There's a passing. Yes, it was roughing the passer.
2-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Roughing the passer was the call. And that is called on Andre Branch.
Well, this one comes out on time, too. He just gets it. Oh, right there. Yep, if you get anywhere near the helmet or head of the quarterback, Kevin, they're going to throw that flag every time. Branch not at all happy about it. Nor is Gus Bradley.
1st and 10, 26-yard line of Jacksonville.
It's a big penalty to keep that drive alive. Manuel.
McCoy. Kozlowski chases. What a block by Woods. Look at McCoy. Fumble. Flag. Another. It was recovered, they say, by Evans. It's going to be on Buffalo. Boy, McCoy was in a grip.
He got hit. He got throttled.
He did.
Personal foul, illegal peelback block prior to the fumble. Offense number 10. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Jacksonville.
And the 4th Buffalo turnover.
Well, it's a terrific effort here, but watch at the end. He's got the ball. Look how he's carrying the football. Watch this hit. Right there. That was the hit that did it from Gratz.
They're looking at McCoy, 11:53 to go. Will step aside in London.
Dislodges that ball with a big-time hit to the back of LaShawn McCoy. 4th turnover today for the Buffalo Bills.
And although the fumble was inside the 5, a penalty was leveled against the Bills, so it's out of the 19. The Birtles will begin it there with a little breathing space. 1st down and 10.
Green is up.
Yeldon is out to the 22-yard line. Minimal gain. Corey Graham, Brown out there, and a gain of 3.
This is TJ Yeldon time. He's already got 108 yards rushing. Talked about the injury to Kyle Williams and not having him in there, Kevin. This is really where you miss him in the running game. Does so much of the dirty work in there, taking on double teams.
Second down, 7.
Green is up.
Inside, quick slant, drop, nice coverage on the play. Allen Robinson was in the sights of his quarterback, and Ronald Darby comes in, disrupts the play.
That was a terrific play by Darby. He gets a really good break on the ball. He gets there almost at the same time. You got to take some chances now, Kevin. I think if you're Buffalo defensively, they've got to be able to create a negative play, a fumble or a turnover. You look at the turnover differential. Buffalo's turned the ball over 4 times. Jacksonville hasn't turned it over once.
5 in the secondary. Here they come. 3rd down and 7. Bortles. That's incomplete. He's missed his last 5 passes. Again, they were going for Hearns. And again, the coverage was by Ronald Darby.
That's a great 3 and out. Big time stop by Buffalo to keep him in this game. And Kevin, as we get a good look at Denarius Moore, he's done a nice job here returning punts. He was close the last time they had the penalty. And when you're struggling a little bit, this is a way to get yourself right back in the game. A big return in the kicking game.
Andrew to send a good block by Gerhardt. Here comes Denarius Moore, who
he had room.
There's a flag thrown. He had all kinds of room, Rich.
I'm really surprised he did that. It was a low kick to begin with. He's going to get a talking to from Danny Crossman, the special teams coordinator of the Bills, when he gets to the sidelines.
Flag will go on the Jaguars.
Player going out of bounds on a punt on his own. Kicking team number 41. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. 1st down, timeout.
Jacksonville has lost 4 in a row. Bills come in 3-3. They've got the ball, and they're down 27-16 on Yahoo.
When you look at the next-gen stats, we thought that Clay would be the guy, and it's actually been Woods, 7 receptions, 68 yards. And a lot of these routes, they're all vertical routes, not a lot of short stuff with Woods.
After the second consecutive 3 and out, 1st and 10, going deep and looking for Gregg with the coverage by Cyprien. Second down. The great thing about those next-gen stats, they allow viewers a chance, Rich, to analyze the game in a much deeper way. Never been available before until now.
And we've got McCoy back in the game. Didn't take him very long, Kevin. He was out there in the first play. And I just like getting it. If you're E.J. Manuel, you've got to be patient versus this Jacksonville defense. They play so much zone coverage. Those checkdowns, we saw the previous check down to McCoy the way he fumbled the ball. That's the matchup I want. I want him matched up on the linebackers.
With a couple tight ends, Hogan right in front of Scooter, the linebacker. There's a matchup you're looking for out to the 47-yard line, close to a 10-yard game. We'll call it 9, so it will be 3rd and 1 for Buffalo. Manuel.
Well, the one official on the far side looks like he's giving it to us. It'll be close. There's an art form to being a good sneaker as a quarterback.
And what is that?
I think it's getting low and getting behind that offensive line and getting some push and extending the ball when you have the opportunity.
Are you good?
That was okay.
Yeah.
You know what was really good was John Elway. He was terrific. He was a bigger quarterback. And what he would do is he wouldn't go in that A-gap between the center and the guard. He'd go outside.
Brady's good at it.
He is good at it.
1st and 10.
He's good at some other things, too.
McCoy. Yes.
Like throwing the football, maybe.
Cyprian.
You can't miss that throw, Kevin. You know, you got, when you throw it to the backs, you got to put it on them. You got to give LaShawn McCoy a chance to make a play in space. Look, he's late with his eyes, and now he just flicks it out there. Put it on him.
And you always say a quarterback has got to trust his eyes.
You got to, and you got to see out in front of throws. That's been a problem a little bit today for E.J. Manuel.
Aaron is in.
Give it to the back. He's right there.
Dropped by Clay. Knocked away by Evans, perhaps. Pushing after the play. Separated. 3rd and 10 coming up. Pushing was away from the ball.
And Clay, this is what you want. Got to make that catch. You're getting paid too. E.J. Manuel's trying to make a throw. You got to make those plays.
And Clay has been
quiet. You know, part of the problem is, Kevin, you don't get these guys going early in the game. You don't get in a rhythm.
Woods has caught 7 manual passes. He's 21 of 38. With a couple of interceptions and a touchdown. 3rd and 10. Ball is stripped. It's loose. Stripping it inside was Clemens. It's recovered by Buffalo. It's 4th down. Chris Clemens and Branch have been active.
Kevin, you can't be asleep at the wheel. Where the pressure's been showing up? They've been pressuring on 3rd down. Talk about the importance of ball security. It's a terrific job by Andre Branch stripping the ball from E.J. Manuel.
Branch missed the first 3 games with the knee injury. Debuted this season back in week 4 against Indianapolis. Running situation for Colton Smith. Walters lets it bounce. And it is down by Marcus Easley at the 3. 56-yard punt by Colton Schmidt, whose best game up until today was against the Giants. Pats and the 4-1 Jets. You can see where this ranks for Ryan. We're early in the season, nonetheless important.
Yeah, they're in 3rd place behind the Jets and the Patriots, Kevin.
Start. Offsides.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 55. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Jerry Hughes.
And going back to that schedule and that record, you see Hughes, he's just going to jump the gun a little bit. Can't get back in time, but at 3-3, they lose this one. Buffalo, they're certainly not going to help their chances in that division. Of course, consider they haven't made the playoffs in 15 years.
Problem. 1st and 5. Purnell with a lingering block, and Yeldon to the 12. Gain of 4.
Jacksonville's done a nice job, Kevin, getting the ball out quickly. You know, Rex Ryan has made a living out of making life miserable for young quarterbacks, and yet they've only sacked Bortles once today. I think when you look at what Indy did week 1, they held the football and they got rocked. And the Patriots went into Buffalo in week 2, got the ball out quickly. More quarterbacks, that's what teams are doing now. They're not holding the football against this Buffalo front.
Hughes grabbed the waves of Yeldon on a 2nd down and 1 and maybe a gain of a yard, and you'll see where they spot him. Looks like the 12 he needs beyond the 13, so it will be 3rd and 1.
What a difference a week makes for Greg Olsen in the running game. I mean, just getting a healthy T.J. Yeldon back. He missed pretty much the 2 weeks of practice. Didn't really even do anything on Thursday back in Jacksonville. Did a light walkthrough and was still pretty tender on Friday. He was going to be a game-time decision. We saw him come out early and warm up and work out. Looked pretty good. He's already got 112 yards rushing on 19 carries against one of the better run defenses in football.
Timeout. Jacksonville uses their 2nd. 1 remaining. Jacksonville has not captured a 1st down in the last 14 minutes of game time. With a look at the South.
Well, you look at the South, the Colts got Andrew Luck. Houston is going back and forth. Tennessee Titans, Kevin, they have a young quarterback in Marcus Mariota who's hurt, not going to play this week. And Jacksonville's got a young quarterback as well, and Blake Bortles is a second-year player. It's tough to win when you don't have continuity and consistency at the quarterback position.
Third down 1.
Hey, Stitch there. Mike's 52. You guys come down, come down. Stitch 52. 380 to 53.
Alu is the fullback. He gets the call. Grinding and pounding his way, and that defensive line looks to have stopped him again. He didn't get it, Rich. It's fourth down.
That's a little unusual, isn't it? You give your defensive lineman the ball to short yardage situation, but he goes in there with a full head of steam, doesn't he?
He has caught a pass. That was against Miami earlier in the season. They threw, in fact, to him last week, and it was incomplete.
He's holding on to that ball, isn't he? He's got two hands on it. Look at it. He's holding on for that.
Look at Bradham in there, huh? Bradham in that avalanche of white jerseys coming in there to stop him.
I think
That's his first carry.
I think he's going to be just short.
He looked like a rugby player, which they've got a bunch of them here in London with the World Cup of Rugby. Missed it. We've had 2 consecutive 3-and-outs, and Jacksonville will bring their punting unit onto the field.
How about this, Kevin? Jacksonville's been stopped on 6 plays where they needed a yard or less. 6 plays. You talk about the importance of situational football. How about short yardage and goal line offense?
Yeah.
It's been bad. You give the ball to Toby Gerhart. You give the ball to Alu. How about giving the ball to T.J. Yeldon? That's what I would do if I was calling plays for Jacksonville.
Remember, they're giving it to Gerhart here, and he got stranded at the 1. He had 4 consecutive carries.
I should have been a play caller.
I know you
Wasted my time up here.
Well, I think some people would like you to. A play call. You've been offered, and you've said no. Anger to punt. Denarius Moore waving the arm. Fair caught, 48. Hang of 4.72. 40-yard punt. 7:15 in the 4th. Buffalo is down in your area. Great beginning field position here from the 48. 1st and 10 for E.J. Manuel, taking the place of the injured quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Good time. Now it's gone, and there he goes. Jones coming through, making the stop in a pretty play by Avery Jones out of the University of Georgia.
You're going to see him right here. And the protection is plenty good. You get a double team on Jones. And this is 1st and 10, Kevin. You got to be smart. If it's not there, throw it away.
Loss of 6. Manuel here going deep, and he's got a receiver. It's Easley. Touchdown! He's only had a couple career receptions. 58-yard touchdown pass, and the Bills are back in business.
Well, they get the verticals, and what happens is now they're really going to hang up on the safety here. The safety has to make a decision. Do you cover the inside vertical or the outside vertical? He actually works back to the middle of the field. Perfect throw here by E.J. Manuel, and easily runs right by the corner for the touchdown. Down by 5. They got to go for 2.
Of all the Bills that could make that reception, how about Easley? My goodness. His first career touchdown reception. He only has, like I said, a couple catches in his career. They're going for 2. Manuel.
Give it a chance. You got to throw it to somebody.
They're going for Greg, who was pushed, and that will be a flag on Gratz. In the end zone as they were going for Greg. Greg and Gratz.
Defense number 27. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
That's why you throw it up. At least give them a chance. Something good will happen. Kevin, a little surprised they rolled E.J. Manuel, right-handed quarterback, to his left. You could have spotted the ball on either hash, and they choose to move him to his left. This is a very difficult throw. In fact, it's into the boundary. Good alert play there, though, by E.J. Manuel at the end. At least throwing it up to his tight end, Chris Gray. Now they got another shot here at the 1-yard line. Could run it here with McCoy. That's what I would do.
McCoy. He was grabbed by Posluszny. He gets in for 2. He gets in for 2 with the extra effort. LaShawn McCoy. 3-point game, 6:33 to go. But who would have thought that Marcus Easley would come up with this huge play? Buffalo with 21 unanswered points.
It's a terrific effort, Kevin, by McCoy. He's going to get hit in the hole by Posluszny, but he's got the wherewithal to extend the ball with 2 hands and hang it over the goal line.
McCoy gets the 2 easily on his 3rd career catch. And his first in the last couple years, known more for his special teams, comes up with his first touchdown reception, 58 yards, and a new game in London.
Isn't it amazing? You know, at one point this game was 27-3. You and I were talking about maybe this one's getting away from Buffalo. And when you have a chance and you don't put a team away, bad things happen. You let them hang around. And that's what Jacksonville has done. They've allowed Buffalo to get back in this thing.
And this is the problem with the Jacksonville team. When they've been challenged, when it's come to that moment, they've not been able to answer. Like last week, they led Houston in the 4th, 14-10. Before that, they led Tampa Bay 24-20, lost. They led Indianapolis 13-10, lost. Now they have the lead, 6:33 to go, but it is trending the other way.
But you can't get tight in these situations. You can't get conservative. You have to continue to be aggressive. I'm not just talking about the players. I'm also talking about the play callers. Give these guys a chance to make some plays. Buffalo's not going to kick an onside kick here. They're going to pound the ball back and play defense.
Jordan Gay will boot it and will sail over the head of Walters to the 20 with the touchback. Now remember, if we go back to the first half, after a 28-yard touchdown run by Yeldon, they were trying the extra point, which was no good from Jason Myers. That was his 3rd missed PAT this season alone.
Every play in the kicking game is critical because it's either field position or points. And the young kicker, Jason Myers, is figuring that out in Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville with no first downs in the last 16 minutes of playing time, lining up, feeling the heat, up by 3, earlier up 27-3. 1st and 10 Bortles. Drops Jacobs. Nick Jacobs has not caught a pass all season long, and they go to him there on a 1st and 10.
Well, you wonder why you put a player in that position, Kevin. Just run a little under route. He's open. He's got to make the catch. And if I'm Blake Bortles, my message to the team in the huddle is let's finish this thing off on offense. Let's not put our defense back out there. Let's take the ball, drive down the field, and score, and end this thing.
5 in the secondary for the Bills. 2nd down, 10 Yeldon. The dance brought down by Bradham. Takes it out to the 23 on a gain of about 3.5 maybe, depending on the spot.
And you can just feel the momentum change. You look at Buffalo's sidelines, most of the players standing up, and the energy has really changed on Buffalo's sidelines.
Now where the pressure come from Rex Ryan. 3rd and 7.
Oh, jeez.
He's surprised by the snap, and he's quickly devoured on the play by Hughes, and flags are on the field.
They're going to get a breakdown or call
sure
false start. That could have been a train
There's no
wreck.
play prior to the snap. False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You're going to see Luke Jokel right here. He's going to move a little bit. And then Bortles is actually going up to Stefan Wisniewski trying to change the protection. He's as surprised as anybody to get that ball in his belly. Well, that could have been a real disaster. Well, see what Rex does here, Kevin. 3rd and 11.
Buckle up.
He may show pressure and bail.
No, they're coming. Bortles Throws it up, and it's picked off by Graham. Corey Graham comes the other way. Corey Graham inside the 10. He broke a tackle and takes it in a pick six. A Buffalo touchdown. The Bills have taken the lead. Flag in the end zone.
Sportsmanlike conduct, illegal celebration, illegal demonstration. On the intercepting team, 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Well, Allen Robinson's going to run the in route. Blake Bortles thinks he's going to go to the post. The problem is he doesn't feel the near safety. And the near safety never retreats to the middle of the field. Corey Graham just hangs out on the hash, and Blake Bortles never feels him, never sees the throw. Late throws down the middle are never a good thing for a quarterback. Boy, you just can't make that play in that situation.
27 unanswered Buffalo points. Gus Bradley talked to us the other day. He says, we're trying to figure out how to win one-possession games. And they've let another one slip. The extra point. Carpenter. A 4-point lead with 5:21 to play. It's the same scene. It's the same song. Different verse, unfortunately, for Jacksonville. 15 points for the Buffalo Bills in a minute 12.
And in a critical situation, Kevin, you have two young players, the quarterback, Blake Bortles, and the receiver, Allen Robinson, clearly not on the same page. Well, you know, the excessive celebration is another mistake for Buffalo, Kevin, a team that's been penalized more than any team in football. Now they'll be kicking off from the 20. And now you're going to give Jacksonville great field position.
Jacksonville was down early to the Bills, 3-0. Then they scored 27 unanswered points. So Buffalo, down 27-3, has come back to score 28 unanswered points.
And remember now, we saw E.J. Manuel get off to a really rocky start, but keep his poise and kind of battle through some adversity. We're going to find out a lot about Blake Bortles here in the last 5 minutes. Can you flip the page? Can you come back from a bad mistake?
With the kickoff by Gay. It'll be grabbed eventually, scooped in here by Walters. And he is down about the 16-yard line. And remember, on top of all this, at Jacksonville with just one timeout left. 5:19. Buffalo has 3. Bortles and the Jaguars are down by 4 after leading. There's a player down for the Bills. That's Alex Carrington. Three second-half leads lost this season.
Well, you check out Blake Bortles' numbers, Kevin. They haven't been great. 9 of 23, 107 yards, a touchdown and interception. You got to get him going here now. I mean, you don't have to come out here throwing it. You've got plenty of time. The guy you can't forget about is T.J. Yeldon. He's been your go-to guy. 20 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. And I'm not just talking about the running game. Don't forget about T.J. Yeldon in the passing game.
The player down, I incorrectly gave you the name Carrington. It was Boom Herron. And he gets off. Good to see him on his feet. Don't forget, too, the goal line stand in the third quarter when the score is 27-13. Huge by Buffalo. On the 16, 1st and 10, Bortles. And he finds his receiver, Allen Robinson. Gilmore, the tackle, and the move takes him to the 36, and he picks up 20, another first down.
And they come right back to him. I love it. You see Stephon Gilmore is in the bail technique. Robinson is wide open. Really nice job there by Greg Olsen. Not being conservative, not running the football on first down, giving Blake Bortles a chance to get back on the saddle.
Allen Robinson today, 5 catches and 80 yards with a touchdown. First down in 17 minutes. First and 10. All the way. Bortles. Beat it. There's Carrington. But really the pressure came from Duke Williams. Loss of 2.
You got to understand the situation in the game. You know, throwing the ball away on first down is not the end of the world. You got to ask yourself, find me a completion. It's man-to-man coverage. Nobody's open. Throw it away and move on to second down.
You under a gun? Gun. Hey, 53, Lucy. 53, Lucy.
Second and 12. For Robinson, the back shoulder throw, and he got the defensive back. Darby turned around. First down strike. 18-yard pickup. They take it to the Buffalo 48.
Wow, this is a tremendous catch by Robinson. And a great throw by Blake Bortles, just giving him a chance. I mean, Darby's in great position. He just literally fits that one in there perfectly.
The 22-year-old Robinson is just shy of 100 yards. He's caught passes. Start this all-important drive for Jacksonville of 20 and 15. First and 10.
It's trailed by 4, Kevin, with just one timeout. You ask yourself, is Jacksonville in 4-down territory?
Bortles. He's looking for Thomas, who got caught up in the coverage with Darby, incomplete.
That wasn't a really good effort by Thomas, Kevin. He's coming out of the game. I hate to see this. I don't know if he's hurt, but he did not do a good job on that route. He was throttling it down, slowing down at the top of the route. It's a guy that's missed a lot of time. You got to ask yourself, where's his conditioning late in the game?
It's the first 4 games because of a hand injury in preseason. Second and 10. Bills in the nickel.
Comes the blitz.
Bortles, incomplete. Held it. Coverage by Duke Williams. Well, the missed extra point, which we just showed you earlier, is obviously looming large now. After the Yeldon touchdown run in the first half, third miss this year by Jason Myers. Otherwise, it'd be 31-28.
Now, they have defenses that look the same, that are different. They've been showing the blitz, and they've been coming. They also have been showing the blitz and bailing. And now you're going to see Bortles. He's going to bring in some extra bodies to block him up, and he's going to take a shot. Oh, Hughes jumps off sides again. Wow. But they get a delay of game. They sure did. Delay of game, Jacksonville.
The play clock expired. Delay of game, offense. There's no foul for a false start or the offense offside. 5-yard penalty.
Now it goes to 3rd and 15.
You can see the play clock there. And again, Bortles trying to get the communication out. They don't get it off. The one guy that was looking at the play clock was Jerry Hughes. Blake Bortles wasn't. The play clock is way up high here in the stadium. It's not in the vision of the quarterback. As a quarterback, Kevin, I never like to leave the field. See how high that is up there in the that end zone? Really high.
Sometimes tough to find. 3rd and 15. And outside, incomplete. Flag is thrown. Nickel Roby was over there covering Brian Walters. Jacksonville, by the way, in the second half has been penalized 8 times.
Pass interference.
Buffalo,
defense number 37,
is going to pick this up.
Automatic first down.
And that keeps the drive alive.
Well, it's a critical mistake in that situation. You got him in a 3rd and long, and Roby's in great position, Kevin. This is an example of a cornerback just panicking. You're right there. He's actually trying to make a play on the ball. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't see him pushing. He's trying to catch the football. he's got just as much right to the football as does the receiver.
17-yard penalty in essence, and Bortles, who is 2 of 11 through the air in this fourth, 1st and 10. Big hit by Preston Brown, leveled on Brian Walters with a gain of 5 to the 31.
Well, it's definitely 4-down territory, and Blake Bortles has to understand that. You don't have to get it all 1st or 2nd down. Even in a 3rd down situation, you got to know that you got 4 downs. Greg Olsen has to tell him that in his headset.
Mike 52. Mike 52. Green 80. Green is up.
With a 2nd down and 5, Bortles. On the run, needs the 26. He's got his receiver. It was caught. It's a touchdown. Allen Hurns. And Jacksonville has taken the lead with 2:16 to go.
Question is, Kevin, is he in bounds? It was an unbelievable effort by Allen Hurns. And a really nice throw on the move, moving to his left from Blake Bortles. Question is, does...
Elbow.
Oh, yeah, I think he's got that left shoulder down. That's a very nice call by the official. Look at the official. He is in perfect position to make this call. Wow, what a tremendous effort by Allen Hurns.
And Bortles, as you say, running to his left.
Well, he made that great throw to his left last week in the corner of the end zone against the Texans.
Here's the extra point. This is important. And he got it to make it a field goal difference. With 2:16 to go, and Buffalo has all 3 timeouts. But Hurns, with his first catch since the first quarter, lassos one from 31 yards away. As Blake Bortles orchestrates a drive which covers 84 yards in a little over 3 minutes for the Jaguars, who found themselves behind by 4 and score the touchdown.
That showed me something right there from Blake Bortles, really, in that Jacksonville team, Kevin. They've got some heart. Now you got Buffalo in a great situation. You've got all 3 timeouts left. You've got 2 minutes and 16 seconds. You got the 2-minute warning. You've got plenty of time. And these are the situations, Kevin, that you walk through, you practice, you rehearse every week. These 2-minute situations late in the game.
Just to touch on that last drive one more time, Rich. What about the penalty on Nickel Roby, which in essence was a 17-yard penalty with interference that's kept the drive alive for the Jaguars?
Penalties have been huge for Buffalo this year, Kevin. They've got more than any team in football.
The ensuing kickoff by Myers. Heron, who we just saw walk off the field under his own power, back out there, retrieves that, leaves it in the end zone.
Man, what a wild 4th quarter it's been here in London. Really nice throw here from E.J. Manuel to Marcus Easley. Bortles, he comes back and makes a poor decision. Throws the ball late down the middle. Corey Graham's able not only intercept it, but return it all the way for the touchdown. And then Blake Bortles, as we just saw, brings his team back on a 7-play, 84-yard drive, capped off by the touchdown throw to Allen Hurns.
3 timeouts, 1st and 10 Manuel. Woods scooped it. He got it right in front of Grotz, and the gain to the 26 and a pickup of 6.
They're just going to take the 2-minute warning here and talk about it.
He will step aside. Bills have the ball, but down by 3. The 3. 27 unanswered points by Jacksonville in the game, and 28 unanswered Buffalo points. With 3 timeouts, 2nd down 4. Manuel escapes and runs and needs the 30. Got the first down. Plus Lesney chases him out of bounds. Got to the 32. Runs for 6.
Really nice decision there, Kevin, by E.J. Manuel. Really nowhere to go with the football. Does the next best thing. Makes a play with his legs. And that's something that you can't forget about. He's so good. You've got to be decisive. Be willing to pull it down, to make a play or two outside the pocket.
Hey, man!
First and 10. Got a block that time for McCoy. He hits Woods again, who got the spin with the broken tackle. Telvin Smith gets him, gain of 9, up to the 41. First time out taken by the Bills. 2 left. Clock at 1:42. What are these discussions like, Rich, as you walk over to the sideline? Well, Kevin Carpenter getting ready.
Well, if I'm E.J. Manuel, I'm not thinking about field goal. I've got a couple timeouts. I've got a minute 45. I've got some players that can make some plays down the field. I want to continue to be aggressive, but I want to be smart. Can't take a sack, throwing the ball away, not the end of the world. Just give somebody a chance to make a play.
Carpenter, by the way, 2 for 3 from 50 yards
coverage right outside. Somebody take a shot.
Second down 1. McCoy.
Great tackle.
Telvin Smith.
Well, he's been all over the place today, hasn't he?
With another tackle, we've got a bunch. He may be in double digits in that category. He has a pick 6 today. No gain on the play. He stopped him, so it's 3rd and 1.
Short yardage and goal line's been a big story in this game.
Manuel.
Ooh, doesn't get it.
I don't think he did either. I think he's short, and the ball didn't come out. And a fumble on the play.
Was this forward progress? Are they going to rule forward progress? The one official right here in the middle of the screen, he's spotting. He's keeping the spot.
Evans came out of the pack.
Look at that conversation right there between the line judge and the referee. He signaled forward progress. I saw that right away. Watch this.
The ruling on the field is that forward progress was stopped prior to the ball coming loose. It'll be 4th down for
right
Buffalo.
There. Look at Gus Bradley. He's going to go. He's going to go ballistic.
Not reviewable.
Either way, Kevin, E.J. Manuel was very careless with the football.
It is not a turnover, and their offense stays on the field with a 4th and 1.
Now this is forward progress. You can't challenge forward progress. Regardless, you got to get your shorts back on straight and make a play here on 4th down.
Timeout.
Oh, jeez, that's crazy.
It's a second.
Boy, well, they're going to run the quarterback sneak. They ran it before, and the center and left guard get blown up. Now you've got forward progress, and you see, I think that's Clemens rips it out. Well, he's made a ton of really nice plays.
Watch Derek Marks. Watch Marks down here grab his legs and not let go.
The ball
and then the ball, yeah, you're right. Well, what would be up your sleeve here, Rich? 4th and 1.
Well, I got a quarterback right now that's a little bit iffy. I also have number 25 in the backfield with Sean McCoy. I got to somehow, I got to make sure that he gets the ball in his hands.
4th and 1. And knocked away. Play right there, Aaron Colvin. Knocked it away from Hogan. 53 seconds to play. Each team with a timeout. Jacksonville will take over on downs.
You know what I can't understand? You've got a right-handed quarterback. This is the second time in a critical situation you've got a quarterback rolling to his left. He throws the ball behind the receiver. He's late with the throw. I don't get it. Look, he doesn't even have his shoulder squared to the target. That is a very difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback.
Victory formation. Coming in with 4 consecutive losses. He falls to a knee. is circling over a victory.
Well, that timeout that they took there on 4th down. I mean, what happened there? And then they changed the play. Really amazing. Too many mistakes. Too many mistakes. You don't come over to London, Kevin, and turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win. Penalties were, again, a story today. 8 penalties in critical situations. What about Jacksonville?
Well, the whole theme was trying to win one-possession games because they've lost so many close games after leads in the 4th quarter.
How about this? Jacksonville had 27 points in a little over 5.5 minutes in the first half. And they got a 3-minute drive in the 4th quarter. Other than that, Buffalo pretty much dominated the other 51 minutes of the game. And yet they're going to get on that plane tomorrow and head back to Buffalo with another loss. They've lost 3 of their last 4. And they're in real danger.
They'll take a bye, and then they'll get Tyrod Taylor back, their starting quarterback, and begin the second half of the season.
They've got a lot of ground to make up on both the Jets and the Patriots in the AFC East.
Buffalo will drop to 3-4. Jacksonville's 4-game losing streak will come to a close. They will go to 2-5 with the wonderful knockaway by Aaron Colvin. You just saw him. Tough day for Ryan and his Bills. 4 turnovers. And missed opportunity by both teams. But Jacksonville hangs in there and they get the win. And it's a game-winning touchdown pass of 31 yards for Blake Bortles to his wide receiver, Alan Hearn.